trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
A very good evening and a warm welcome, everyone. It is round 8, the penultimate round of season 3 of the Adrenaline GT ACC Championship, and we are here at Paul Ricard for our one and only feature race of the season. A 25-minute sprint race followed by a 50-minute feature race with a stop required tonight is sure to be action-packed, especially because the top 10 is reversed for that 25-minute sprint race. I am your host and lead commentator, Isaac Fogarty. It's a pleasure to have your company this evening, wherever you are watching from across Australia, New Zealand, and indeed around the world. And with me this evening in the booth, once again, back again for another round. He's been in the booth every single time this season. It is, of course, the Scottish Warrior, John Wright. John, it's a pleasure to have you back in the booth once again. Looking forward to tonight. Paul Ricard should deliver on some great action.
Indeed it should, Isaac. I assure you, the pleasure is all mine. Free front row seats to the best show in town. Let's go. Absolutely. Cannot wait for this one. Even if it is tonight, just to see if the Porsches finally get put in their place. Judging by the practice, though, it's doubtful. But here, an Audi, Mercedes, Ferrari, Mustang fans will all be praying this evening that the Porsches can get a bit of a taste of their own medicine, and we will see. Although Struick with a lap record, it doesn't bode well for anybody outside the Porsches again this week, Isaac. They've been dominant this season, and it's going to be a fun one tonight to see if anyone can topple that dominance.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm looking forward to following along with all the action, as I'm sure you are at home as well. We apologise for the delay in getting the stream up this evening. We had issues with G-Portal earlier on, but we should be resolved now. We've adjusted our race time slightly, so what you see on your screen reflects what will happen this evening. Qualifying has already happened. That took place off-screen this week to allow us to be able to run smoothly between the races. Usually in the past for sprint features, it's taken a little bit of time to get things set up and running, so doing the qualifying off-screen before we start broadcasting actually gives us time to make sure that both these races run quickly and smoothly this evening. And only one stop again required in that feature race later on tonight. Let's have a look at how our driver standings looks coming into this round. Is, of course, Josh Struick still at the front of the field, but now it is changed for second place. Matt Simmons jumps up ahead of Matthew Donetti in a 19-point swing. So for the first time this season, and first time in quite a while, Matt Donetti drops outside the top 2 in the points. Simon Bishop sits in P4, jumping back up ahead of Aiden Holton and Braden Henderson after last round. Aiden Holton, Braden Henderson, Max Silver still sitting inside that top 7 as well. Then, in your Pro-Am category, it is 2 points to Bowen Piper, so he retakes the team or the lead in the Pro-Am Championship, but it is only a 2-point swing to the Defy Motorsports 2 driver. Michael Toward is sitting second in class, and then some 103 points behind is Riley Nicholson. He's about 52 points clear of Mark Hurley. Then it's Nathan Hutton, Rowan Green, and Josh Gordon rounding out your top 7 in the Pro-Am standings. Having a look at our team's championship, at the top still, it is CP Motorsports, and then it's BCG1. Then it's fairly close from BCG3 all the way down to CP Motorsports 2, in 6th place. There is less than 100 points between them. It is nice and close in the mid-pack of this team's championship. So it's BCG 3, then Team XV Primer, TTR Westside, CP Motorsports 2 in 6th place, and it's Defy Motorsports 2 finally jumping ahead of Defy Motorsports 1. So that's a positional change this week. This round, they have moved ahead in the championship. Then it's Highland Motorsport 1 and Grimace Racing in 10th place, and it's all still to play for in the mid-pack of that team's championship. John, it's getting pretty tight at the top end of the field with only a round to go after tonight. This, of course, being the penultimate round. So this team's championship, and indeed that Pro-Am Drivers' Championship, looks well and truly alive.
Yeah, on an absolute knife edge. I mean, 2 points of a difference at the top of the table. That is absolutely electrifying going into these, especially with Paul Ricard being such a racer circuit. I know most F1 drivers describe this circuit as having very good spectator facilities. Give that what you will. But the racing you get around here is going to be absolutely electrifying. And those team, and as you say, especially the Pro-Am standings, absolutely on a knife edge.
It is very, very close. Not too far away from getting things underway here for the sprint race. We're going to quickly run you through the qualifying results. We don't have anything to put on your screen, but we will read them out. We'll read them out. So Josh Struick lines up on pole position, which means he will start 10th for race number 1. So we'll read them out in starting order. It is Josh Struick. It is Dale Hagstrom that's actually going to line up on pole position here. He qualified 10th in that session. So Dale Hagstrom on pole, James Barton on the front row with him in position number 2. Then it's Simon Bishop and Riley Nicholson sharing row number 3 for this sprint race. Aidan Holton and Bowen Piper lining up, if I can get my words out, lining up on row number 4. Then it's Braden Henderson and Matt Simmons on row number 4. They're 3rd and 4th in qualifying. They will be towards the back end of the top 10. And then 9th and 10th will be Matt Donetti and Josh Struick. So they will be at the back end of the top 10. They qualified 1st and 2nd in this session. Peter Sargent will start 11th in this field. Michael Toward starts 12th. That's crucial for Bowen Piper. He is well ahead of his championship rival in both races tonight even. Mark Hurley will be 14th. Max Hurley will be 13th. Max Silver will be 14th. Ben Sayers in P15. Xander Stewart in 16th. And Andre Sheppers in 17th place. Wayne Tanner will line up in 18th, and then Adam Joy and Felix Presland are the back end of your top 10. Rowan Green and Matt Boyd, 21st and 22nd, the only other 2 drivers in this session tonight. And I tell you what, it is lining up to be a very, very exciting race indeed. This grid is super competitive, ultra competitive, I guess you could say. Looking forward to seeing what they can get up to tonight at the front of this field. Look, the reverse 10 here, John, is always an interesting concept, isn't it? We quite enjoy watching these races when we flip the grid from qualifying.
Oh, reverse order grids are absolutely the way to go, certainly from a spectator's and a commentator's point of view. Drivers might not quite agree so much, but yeah, it certainly does make it an interesting one, especially with the way the Pro-Ams have qualified. They've got such a big gap in them, and they've now been separated by this reverse order grid as well, with one of the Pro-Ams up on the front. In fact, 2 Pro-Ams on the front 2 rows. So it makes the very first lap all that more important. Well, I'm saying it makes the first lap all the more important. We are here at Paul Ricard, so lap number 2 and 3 along that back straight. You've certainly got time to work your way through. Not too much time though. 25-minute race with no pit stop. That will absolutely fly by, as it always does. So the drivers. Oh, sorry, Isaac. Bear with me a moment, mate.
All good. We've just been told, and I can see on my screen that the grid is actually wrong for this race. So we're going to try and get that resolved for you folks ASAP. There is an error. Pretty much the entire grid is correct, except for one driver who is out of position, which is Hagstrom. So our pole sitter is actually not in the correct position at the moment. We will get that resolved ASAP if we can. Have to get to the bottom as to why they are out of position, which is shouldn't be happening. It is a strange one, that's for sure. So we're going to try and work that out for you straight away, folks, because yeah, we're not quite sure what is happening. John, have we got you there?
Hello.
We have rejoined us. Yes, I believe it is hay fever that is running rampant with yourself at the moment, which is not a fun time at all.
Wild. It's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. There's a lot of sneezing going on, and my right eyeball looks like a waterfall right now. So, yeah, fun times. Fun times. But yeah, we'll get Isaac to sort the grid. We're here today for Paul Ricard, as has been mentioned. This course, built back in 1970, and again, George Cook. It was years before I was born, before he throws one that way. The number of variations. I think there's more variations of this course than there is on a Rubik's Cube. You've got the main circuit, you've got 1A and V2, you've got the bike section, you've got 3A, 3C, multiple different variations. We are going to be on the full-blooded circuit 1A, of course, which is just over 3.5 miles long. Most of that, 3 miles, is the back straight. No, I'm looking. It's close though. It is close. The Mistral Straight, of course, one of the longest straights in motorsport. That is a whole lot of slipstream, and I tell you what, it's absolutely terrifying coming into that right-hander off the end of the Mistral Straight at full speed. The driver's right over the curves, and we'll actually see some little square markers off the track where they've got to get back inside in deference to the amount of speed that they're carrying through there. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly the tyres are in the window and how brave the drivers are going through there, because side by side through there is more detrimental than any other corner in the world. One driver will be going a lot slower by the time they get into turn number 12, which makes it an interesting battleground. That long right-hander, it's almost like a triple. I went for treble and triple at the same time there. It's almost like a triple apex, which is going to keep the drivers on their toes. For some reason, my YouTube chat is not working.
It's handy.
Yeah, that's handy. But yeah, welcome to everyone that is in the chat. Hope you're all looking forward. I take it we're already going to have some predictions in there. Let me see if I can get it open. There
Well, yeah, let
we
us know. Who do you
go.
think's gonna take this one out, guys? We'd love to hear your thoughts and predictions. We are not too far away from hopefully getting this one underway. But we're just trying to. The problem is, John, the entry list was correct, so everyone was placed in the right order. It's just put drivers in the
wrong place.
in the wrong place.
Technology is a streamer's best friend, said no streamer ever. That is some facts right there. But yeah, welcome to everyone. And Wayne is in. Wishing good luck to everyone today. You got to be joking, Bob. That is a very good name. I like that. I approve of that thoroughly. But yeah, welcome in, folks. Who are we cheering on today? Do we think the Porsches are going to run away with it? Or is today the day that Audis finally put those pesky Porsches in their place? That was quite an alliteration there. I'm quite proud of that one. But we'll see what goes on. And of course, well, will it all make it to the end? As I say, coming off the Mistral straight into Seine, that is, yeah, it's not a Seine corner.
It's very misleading.
It really is. Really, I mean, if you go to Death Valley, say in California, you know what you're gonna get. Okay, it lives up to its name. I can assure you. I've been there. It is horrifying. But yeah, certainly to call a corner Seine at the end of the Mistral Straight is complete insanity, and only a French sense of humour could see that one being justified. Of course, the rest of the course. Absolutely crazy. Sector 3 for me is a confusing one. The number of times I get Ben Dor and Latour mixed up is absolutely, well, it's beyond embarrassing for someone with my alleged level of intelligence, quite honestly. But we'll see if the drivers can find their way through. Which I'm sure they will. And of course, in the second race, the pit stop strategies are going to be very, very, very important. I think we're potentially going to see drivers following one another into pits for fear of losing any kind of slipstream along that Mistral straight, because being on your own along there, the difference in top end speed is absolutely horrifying. If you are on your own compared to cars in the slipstream, much like you see in NASCAR, the more cars that are in the slip, the faster they're all going. And if you're out there on your own, you are going to be getting left behind. You will be the tail of the group by a considerable margin. So we'll see how the strategies play out, but they still need to survive. Race number 1 first, and that is looking like we are lining up for that. I've even got camera control. Hurrah! Let's do that and that. No, it's not letting me turn the camera, so I can't actually see what's going on. Excellent.
Brilliant.
We'll get that back up and running in a minute, though. But
we
yeah,
do have a correct
grid by the look of it.
We do have a correct grid. However, we have no Simon Bishop, so we're just trying to establish if we're going to hold for Simon Bishop now. Obviously, Simon, a very esteemed member of our community, and the last thing I would want to do is not include him in this event. So, if he requests that we hold for him, we will try and hold for Simon Bishop. He's just having issues loading in, I believe, which is typical ACC things and typical technology, really. It never works when you need it to, does it, John? It's always a little bit funky.
Yeah, I'm sure whoever said technology is a man's best friend really was a bit tongue-in-cheek there.
Oh, absolutely.
They were just having a bit of a giggle. It was, yeah.
A laugh at our expense, if you will.
Yes, yeah. As we sit here like, yeah, technology will save everything. No. No, it won't, baby puppy. Get back in your box. So we'll see if I can get everyone in their boxes. So Bishop is looking to join. Solid 22 cars on the grid as I reach for more hay fever medication. to try and survive. And if there is anyone out there that is listening that is suffering from hay fever as well, you have my utmost sympathies. People just don't understand how bad it can be. I didn't understand until I got it a few years ago. I always thought, hay fever, how bad can it be? And then I got it. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, a couple of cars just flickering on the grid.
Yes, I do believe we have a Simon Bishop now. But has it placed him in position? I believe it actually has. So it's placed him in third. So we are good. He's joined. He's in position. Crisis averted, people. Do not fear. And we are almost ready to go for our formation lap. So let's jump down to the field. All right, we have 42 seconds remaining in this preload time, John. And then we'll get on the way for our full formation lap. 25 minutes this sprint race.
30 seconds.
Which should get us home inside the session timer. We have a limit on when this session can finish, which is 8:45 New South Wales time, and that's about half an hour from now. So we should make the red flag cutoff time quite comfortably, fingers crossed, from here. But it's great that Simon, I think I've never seen that before, John. Usually I've found if you load in late in a session like this, it won't let you take your grid slot, but it actually has allowed Simon to sit in his grid slot, which is great news.
Yeah, it is, a little technical gremlin that's actually worked in our favour for once. Write down the date and time, folks. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. You got to be joking, Bob, saying, loving your work, Foggy. Indeed, the amount of work and effort he puts into this league is absolutely mind-blowing. Why will it not let me return to garage? This could hamper my ability to keep up with things. We'll hopefully get that at the start of the race. Although the red flag cut-off time, Isaac, it might be in jeopardy given that I believe a warm-up lap around here is about 45 minutes.
It's nice and long, isn't it, when you're rolling around at
really
80 k's an hour? It's not that fast, but we are underway for our formation lap. We are looking at the moment at Mark Hurley, actually, your pole sitter, Daniel Hagstrom. So he had issues earlier, but we finally got him into that pole position. Everyone seems to be in the correct spot, which is excellent. So we're glad to see something we're trialing this week as well, folks. And we encourage you to join in at home. And we're going to put this in the chat right now. We have implemented live timing for our league for AGT. It's been a bit of a work in the background over the last few weeks between rounds to get this working. And we are hopeful that we're actually going to be able to get it to work for you. So I've just posted in the chat there. You might have to copy paste that link, but that will actually give you live timing. So we'll be bringing you data from this as well throughout the race, obviously. But you'll also be able to see for yourself at home drivers' best laps, their lap times, and what pace they're currently doing. So it's not as in depth as you'd expect from something like iRacing and their live timing that we use for commentating over there, but it certainly does allow us to have a bit more insight, John, especially myself, who can't go and click on the timetables mid-race because we need to be able to see what's happening on track. But also for everyone at home, it's sort of a bit like Natsoft in a sense that you can follow along and get an understanding of what's happening with the cars on track, even if you're not fully watching the screen at the time.
Yeah, it's good to have this type of add-on to console. As you mentioned, console drivers are absolutely starved of data mid-race these days, especially commentators as well, given the way that the ACC console... well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to blame that one on ACC. I'm going to throw that one straight at the feet of the people that are to blame for the lack of data we get during races, and that is Sony and Microsoft. You're both... Oh, I can't finish any of those sentences. Not a big fan of the way Sony and Microsoft keep their customers tied in. There is definitely allowances they can make to allow more data transfer. We are now allowed to send data to websites and things to get the results and stuff, but still mid-race data and all that thing very much held in by Sony and Microsoft. So those two need to absolutely sort it out because they're doing their customers a massive disservice. And one of the biggest parts of Microsoft and Sony's current customer base is sim racers. ACC comparatively speaking, is going great guns, especially with the cross-platform, Xbox and Sony and PlayStation being able to drive together. It just expands the grid so much. So yeah, an expansion on the data that we can use, yeah, it will always be more than gratefully received by everyone involved in the sim racing space. So we're making small progress, but Sony and Microsoft, take heed, sort it out.
Absolutely.
We're coming up to the last corner now, Isaac.
We are not too far away from a race start. Hagstrom, in only his third AGT round, lines up on pole for this reverse top 10 25-minute sprint race. We are close to the start. And there we go, green lights, and we are away for race number 1. Look at the launch from Simon Bishop off the line. They're all 3 wide as we run down the corner towards straight towards turn 1 for the first time. It's Barton that's in front. But under brakes, it should be Simon Bishop that gets the jump. We've got a couple cars wide there, one off the road. We've got a couple cars around. That's Matt Donetti that's around, and I believe actually Josh Struick as well caught up in that. So a couple of cars already caught up in incidents. Matt Donetti facing the wrong way. That's Hagstrom that was around as well. So Hagstrom and Donetti making contact in this early stage of race number 1. So the sprint race not going the way of Matt Donetti, and he cannot catch a break lately. That is not good at all for he's our reigning champion, was sitting 3rd in the points coming to tonight. Thankfully, they have a second feature race where he starts on the front row coming up later on, but it's his teammate right now, Simon Bishop, that leads the way from James Barton, from Riley Nicholson, who's on a charge at the moment, up into 3rd place, Aiden Holton, Braden Henderson, and Matt Simmons. Here we go, James Barton side by side. The straight line speed of that Nissan GTR is mighty, and he pulls out of the slipstream to be ahead before they get to Sane at the back end of the straight.
Yeah, so there we go, folks. I was surmising the Audis are going to bring the fight to the Porsches. The Nissan GTR said, hold my VB long neck, let me get myself out in the lead. It must be 8:30 in the morning and breakfast time here for Barton, because he is absolutely flying in that green and gold bad boy. The Audi and the Aston absolutely hunting him down. And we do have a Porsche in the top 4, but it's halting. No sign of Simmons or Struick in the top 10 so far. Of course, the reverse order grid giving them a bit of work to do. Riley Nicholson having a great start to the race. He started in the front 2 rows. He's still in the front 2 rows. Oh, it's a big stand by Henderson. Henderson up the inside of the last corner. He gets the move done on Halton there. What a move in the last corner there. That is full commitment on the brakes from the Mercedes driver. And Henderson taking 4th place. I don't care what you say about Paul Ricard. Best track in the world, one of the best tracks in the world for actual full-blooded racing, and the drivers are already fully committed to that. As we can see, Simmons and Struick having a bit of a battle as well. Oh no, is that Halton? Sorry, my apologies.
It's Halton, yes.
That's Halton. Yeah, this being hunted down by Simmons. What a start, Isaac. Let's go, Paul Ricard.
It's off to an electric start. They said that's boring racing at Paul Ricard. I don't know what they're talking about. It's pretty exciting so far. This is pressure mounting now for Aiden Holton. He's lost a spot to Braden Henderson. He could lose a spot to Matt Simmons. What is Simon Bishop got in the tank here as they run down the back straight? Can he get in the slipstream of this GTR? We know the Nissan is quick in a straight line. It's got 15 kilos of weight on board, folks. There is so much weight in that car to try and slow it down. But I don't think that it's going to be any slower in a straight line. It doesn't look like Bishop is gaining the way that I think he would like to here. And he's just not able to make any inroads. Henderson's actually all over the back of Nicholson. So that Mercedes is very, very quick at the moment. Netty's up to 18th. Further down the pack, we've got side-by-side action here with Bowen Piper and Xander Stewart into Saint. And they've sorted that out before they get there. But wide for Stewart. Oh, round goes Sayers. Ben Sayers backwards off the road. And Donetti has slowed up, which makes me think that potentially there was a bit of contact there with the number 1 car. Not entirely sure, but he did back out of that to look like maybe try and redress that incident. So bad to worse, unfortunately, for the 1 car. And Ben Sayers finally gets that car going again. Max Silver lost a couple of spots off the start here as well. Hagstrom's in the pit lane, getting that damage repaired. Hopefully we'll see him back out there for race number 2. Shame to see the pole sitter already in the lane. Adam Joy up to 12th place in this race. Look at that Nissan GTR. That's a very nice looking GTR. This is for CST BFO. He's been a reserve driver for Team XV Prime in the last couple of weeks, and the Mercedes finally gets the opportunity to jump in the GTR this week. And that is a very, very lovely livery.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I thoroughly approve. That is a very, very, very nice Nissan GTR. It's almost a nod to Fast and the Furious type. No, my apologies. Not Fast and the Furious. Need for Speed. I'm maybe showing my age there. I was well into my parenting years when the first one of those came out, so I do remember what the early Need for Speed liveries looked like, and I can assure you that is a very sexy representation of what we used to see. I was looking, where was I looking? Oh yeah, Bone Piper. He stayed out, Bone Piper, looking battered and bruised and a bit beleaguered as well, but he has stayed out. He's got McLarens either side of him, but up at the front of the field it is Nicholson and Henderson. Henderson in the Mercedes once again. He is carving his way through the field here today, Isaac. Incredible driving. That's him now ahead of Nick. Oh, he's off. Oh, he's off. Oh, wow.
Huge.
That is a hit for
hit.
Henderson. He came off as saying he had a bounce on the curbs, and that is the problem with that corner as well.
Oh,
He's
gone again.
No.
He's trying to stay off the circuit, but this is the bumpy part of the track. If you're not on the circuit, they haven't really profiled the off-track as the same as they have on a racing surface, so it's very, very bouncy, very, very, I mean, that car looks like an absolute handful at the moment. And, oh, around goes one of the McLarens as well. Is that Green? No, it's Xander Stewart, who half spun on the exit there. So it's all happening down the pack here, folks, towards the back end of the lap. Henderson's just trying to get this car back to the pits with the damage it has on it. And the battle for fifth is still going on. These three Porsches, we had this on our screen earlier. Struick found a way past Matt Simmons, and now Matt Simmons wants to go for it on Aiden Holden. Sorry, there's contact between the two of them, side to side. Simmons will redress that. Slot in behind, the side-to-side contact. He forced Holden off the road, so he's redressed that position, but that's a free kick for Struick, who moves up into position number 4, and Riley Nicholson will very, very soon have a rear view mirror full of CP Motorsports Porsche. Up the inside now for Matt Simmons. That is a very unconventional spot to get the move done, and a switch back from Holton. So Holton's on the inside. They're going to stay side by side on the run towards the back straight. Off the road for Holton. Here we go, folks. This is on. Down the back straight. They're in even cars. It cannot get any more even than this. They are side by side using the side draft. Who's going to come out here on top? The inside line will go to Holton when they get to Sane, and it looks like Holton just has a little bit more in the straight line right now. He's a little bit slipperier, maybe running a flatter wing to give himself more straight line speed. Is Simmons going to think about it into saying no? He's not on this occasion. Oh, very, very off the road there for Holton. He cut that corner, which was strange, and as a result, we'll see the position and drop in behind.
Indeed, yeah, and while that's all been going on, there is Sargent in the background, and I tell you what, he could be raining on the parade of the drivers ahead of him with those two going side by side. That is not the type of slipstream that you want. Side draft will slow down one of the cars. Of course, they've just magnified that on race room, actually, so well done to the race room engineers, but certainly on here, yep, side draft and in real life. It doesn't actually much help. It doesn't help both of the cars, that is for sure. And it certainly slowed them both down. And Sargent has now got himself right in the hunt. There's more battles going on down through the field as well. Shepherd's v Hurley is pretty close. Presland is coming under all kinds. Oh no, Presland's got the move done. Oh no, it's a blue flag. My apologies. No, it's not a blue flag. It's Bone Piper carrying damage. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep up, and especially with it. Really, especially when it only updates every sector. It does make it interesting. We've got another overtake into turn number 1. I can see that is Silver going past Green. Very nicely done by him.
Very, very lovely overtake for Max Silver. Michael Tower fancies himself a look on the inside as well. Into 3. A little bit of curb. Upsets that Aston Martin, but he's got it straight. And now it's the two teammates that are line astern. So Green and Stewart actually going to be side by side. They may go for a little bit of a battle here. We'll get some airtime for these McLarens for George Cook. TrackSpot TV's George Cook obviously is a big McLaren fan. We'll get some airtime for these Grimace Racing McLarens.
It doesn't make him a bad person though, folks.
It doesn't make him a bad person. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Just a pure judge of character.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes, folks. But nevertheless, these McLarens are actually going to go for a nice battle here. Side-by-side action down the back straight on the run towards Sane. Who's going to come out on top here? Green could lose a third spot in the matter of just a few corners here, and one of them will be to his teammate up the inside when they get to Sane. We wait for the camera to switch back. They have changed places. And I don't think Green's quite done with it yet. Defending. Stewart up the inside, though. We'll get that move done, and that's a lovely overtake from Xander Stewart. Time that to perfection. And the teammates, who are probably in a voice chat together, will no doubt be having a lot of fun out there at the moment.
Indeed, and they'll be keen on the position that they're in, as long as the two of them can stay together again. Slipstream, slipstream, slipstream. It is so important around this course on that back straight. If these two can stay close together, it's certainly going to make it an interesting one. As Struick in the Porsche, setting the fastest lap of the race. Can we get this man tested for alien DNA? How is he managing to do that in the slowest car around the track? It makes no sense to me, Isaac.
Yes.
It's boggling my brain. Maybe the hay fever medication's stronger than I thought.
He's caught right up to Rowan Nicholson here, but he was trading fastest laps with Simon Bishop. So Simon Bishop did a 54.13. Struick did a 53.9. So he's flying out there at the moment, 2 tenths quicker than any other car on the track on the previous lap. The next quickest car was your race leader in Simon Bishop. Josh Struick is determined to get on the podium here. He's got one hand on the trophy. If he can come away with a strong result this weekend, he will be champion-elect, because they will be out of reach. Only 151 points on offer next round, and something major has to happen here for anyone to get in contention, and that person will be Matt Simmons or Matt Donetti. And it doesn't look like at the moment anything major is going to happen to Josh Struick. He goes past Nicholson up into 3rd place now, and we'll have James Barton as the next car in his sights. So turns his attention to the Nissan GTR in front. Rowan Nicholson will probably try and stay with him, but Nicholson will just be happy to be inside this top 4. He's been running really well recently. Nicholson had a bit of a tough start to the season, could not get the results he wanted. Mistakes and incidents creeping in, but in the last few rounds, he has really turned a corner with his pace and his consistency, and he's been up the pointy end of this field, and it's really brought him back in this championship. And right now, with Bowen Piper and Michael Toward, both 12th and 14th in this race, this is a key opportunity for Nicholson to get some points back and potentially get himself within at least touching distance of that Pro-Am Championship if things go his way. Struick sizing up a move on Barton, not able to do anything on that occasion. Hurley's actually sitting right in behind Sheepers as well at the moment, who's done brilliant to get up inside this top 10. He sits in 8th on the road. Piper, Joy, Presland all going for it. So Joy actually gets into the top 10 for CSTBFO. So he moves up another place. Not a scratch on that Nissan GTR right now. That looks immaculate at the moment. Whereas what doesn't look as immaculate is this Ford Mustang, which is walking wounded. Front end damage on that car, and big front end damage on that car. He's doing his best to try and move forward in this race. Felix Presland right in behind as well in 12th. Max Silva didn't qualify quite where he would want to in that GTR. Maybe struggling a little bit, not able to get some practice in this week. So struggling ever so slightly, but as we reach the halfway point, he is in 13th and asking some questions. Here we go. Bowen Piper, and with that straight line speed in the Ford Mustang, you have to think this is a foregone conclusion. He will get this place by the end of the straight. Right in under the rear wing now of that Nissan GTR. The GTRs are quick in a straight line though, and that was put on display by Barton earlier. They are very, very quick.
Oh, Struick for third, Struick for second.
Struick for third, Struick for second
what
place.
What a move.
Oh, wonderful overtake.
Oh, he's got it done.
He's got it done. Around the outside by the looks of it. That was spectacular stuff. And Struick moves up a place.
Yeah, he set it up off the Mistral Straight. I did manage to catch that. He set it up off the Mistral Straight. They came barreling through Saint. I thought Nicholson was going to be the big beneficiary there, but then I remembered it was Struick that was behind the wheel of that Porsche, and all things are possible with this one behind the wheel of one of these cars. And he did get a very good move, and I'll tell you what, I think that I don't think it's quite done yet. I think Barton is now under serious pressure from Nicholson in that Aston Martin. It's going to be a close one this time going along that Mistral Straight for these two, but that is Struick back up into second place. He has only got 11 minutes though to catch Simon Bishop in the Audi, so by hook or by crook the Porsches might come undone in this race finally this season. It's going to be Bishop up at the front in the Audi, looking good to take the top spot. He's got plenty of clear air and no blue flag traffic to worry about, so it's just head down, concentrate and get yourself to the end, especially in the team standings, given that Donetti down just now in 20th position and unlikely to make back any spots before the end of the race, Isaac.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Matt Donetti. Again, there is a second race to come worth more points. So this race is worth sprint race points. Only 75 points for the leader. I say only, that's still a handy bag of points for Simon Bishop. But then race number 2 coming up will be worth 150 points. So our standard feature race or 60-minute race points, even though we are slightly short this evening due to the delays we had at the beginning of the night with G-Portal deciding that it was perfect time to do a maintenance period and no one was able to load anything. We had multiple people trying to get the servers working, but G-Portal was just stuck on an infinite loading screen with a maintenance display. But nevertheless, we are here now and it is working and we have racing happening. Max Silver trying to catch up, so that position has finally gone the way of Bowen Piper. He moves up into 10th place, and now Silver and Adam Joy. Michael Towers actually just jumped ahead of Felix Presland as well in the background off the back straight into Sane, so he's got that move done. And Max Silver now going to start putting the pressure on Adam Joy under brakes. Look at the closing rate of that GTR. He is pushing hard. It's great to see the pace slowly coming to him. Again, not getting practicing this week. He's finding the pace as the race goes on. No doubt when we get to the feature race in a little while, he will be super, super quick. Opens the steering, just first runs a little bit wide. Oh, there's a bit of contact mid-corner between the two of them. And Max Silver had to pull that car up just not to rotate. That's invited Toward into this battle now. So it is going to be very close between Toward and Silver and Joy. Presland also could find himself a part of this if he's patient and buys his time here. But Max Silver still trying to find a way into 11th place. Then he could try and set after Bowen Piper, who is carrying that damage.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Piper doing well to hang on to a top 10 spot with that damaged car, but that is going to be a very, very, very uphill struggle in the closing 5 minutes of the race. Even with a short 25-minute race, your tyres are going to take a bit of a pounding, and if you've got no aerodynamics to help them out on the front of the car, his front tyres are going to be absolutely shredded by the time he brings that thing home. So he will be hoping to hang on to a top 10 spot. It's going to be, as we say, an uphill struggle with Joy, Silver and Tower. They are slipstreaming along this Mistral straight now, and I tell you what, it's a Mustang. It's that Nissan v Nissan battle with Toward in the Aston, and look at the difference in speed. Those two right in the slipstream one another. Here comes the Aston Martin now, though. This definitely gives Toward the decision. He could show that he's going to try and make an overtake here and really put the wind up the drivers ahead of him. I've just seen a blue flag wave at the start. Oh, there we go. Sorry, someone just having a bit of a connection issue. It threw me into the pits there for a moment. Completely lost track of what was going on. Oh. Whoa, these two drivers didn't know as Silver and Joy go side by side. And here comes Tower. I did say he was going to be close and going to be a fly in the ointment, and that is exactly what he's doing. This is a fascinating little battle going on. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch from the grey Nissan there. That is Silver.
That's
no, it's not. It's Joy. Sorry, Joy
yep.
is behind. Yeah, so Joy is behind. Again, the update coming a little second later there, and Toward, he is all over the back of this one. Still going on up at the front of the field though as well. I'm keeping an eye on that as well. I've got two screens on the go here. This is great. Barton and Nicholson with Simmons now right in the hunt as well.
Yeah, Simmons and Barton and Nicholson still putting the pressure on. Simmons could find himself on the podium here if it continues as is. Just looking at the times between Bishop and Struick. On the last lap, it was a 54.5 for Bishop and a 54.1 for Struick. So he's about 4 tenths quicker at the moment. Pushing on, trying to catch Simon Bishop before this race is over. But the inroads need to be greater if he does want to get there within the next 6 minutes. He's got to push a little bit harder. Bishop, though, out in front. Some breathing space at this stage, but nothing's ever fully safe, is it, John, around this place? You never know. He's just gained 2 tenths in the first 2 sectors there, so he's actually made up a fair amount of time. We're watching this battle at the moment for third on the road. Barton, Nicholson and Simmons all within fairly close distance of each other. Simmons a little bit wide there off the road. The other thing you have to be careful at this circuit is the track limits. It's very easy to find yourself with a drive-through penalty, John.
Very, very, very easy indeed. This is very much the French Mazzano, I would say, when it comes to penalties, is these two. Oh, and he's got to come back. Oh, and he's almost lost the back end of the car, and he is going to lose the position. Surely Matt Simmons is going to take this one in the Porsche. He absolutely is there. Nicholson lost a lot of time there. He could have got himself back on the driving line, but he realised he didn't have the momentum. He would have massively impeded Simmons there. Better to keep your own momentum and try and get into the slipstream. But that is Nicholson then. Deny the battle for the race lead at the moment in the Pro-Ams. Because he's got Simmons, fastest car on the track, fastest driver on the track, separating him now from the Pro-Am class leader.
He certainly does. And Nicholson will want to try and get back to that. He was within a shot of 1, getting on the overall podium, and 2, being the leader of that Pro-Am class. Now we turn our attention back to this battle. There's still 4 cars line astern. So Bowen Piper in 9th. We have lost a car, I believe. I'm trying to work out who that is. That we have lost in the mid-order there. Not quite sure who was disconnected. But I will find out for you folks. Do not stress. Can't actually see. My timer is not telling me. It says we have 22 cars racing.
Wayne Tanner, I believe.
Wayne Tanner. No,
oh,
he's
no, Wayne Tanner
is
still racing.
Look for someone maybe falling down the order here that is out of position. I'm consulting my notes right now, and I'm not seeing anything of consequence at this stage. It does say Henderson's in 21st, though, so we are missing someone. Who that someone is, I'm not quite sure. Sheppers. We've lost Andre Sheppers, unfortunately. He has dropped out. There we go. That solves that problem. He was inside the top 10 not too long ago, and unfortunately has fallen out. In the background, Toward's going for a move on Ferb, so Joy up around the outside, had to hold the wide line, and Toward has actually gone past and moved up a position into position. This will be P11.
Oh, Simmons.
Simmons. What is happening to Matt
Simmons
side by side
yep.
here with James Barton, and this has brought Riley Nicholson back into this as well. So Simmons is trying to go up the inside into turn 1. Has he got the brakes to get it done? No, he's going to have to slot back in at this stage, but he was side by side on the front straight. Look at the smiley faces on the front of that Porsche. I don't think there's a smiley face on the front of that BCG driver right now. He's a very lovely man. Met him in, got to have a catch up with him recently at the Sydney GTR Festival, and he is a very smiley man when he's not behind the helmet. Looks up the inside now of Barton into turn 5. Now through 6 and then back towards 7 onto the back straight. And look at this. Here we go. So he's got the move done. And now Nicholson. Oh, contact between Nicholson and Barton. And Barton is in the wall. Heavy hit. He'll keep going. He'll keep rolling. He will not be best pleased about that at all. The contact, the side-to-side contact with himself and Nicholson. Nicholson will just have to push on with it. He's actually sizing up Matt Simmons here. He could go around the outside, put himself on the podium potentially. As we get towards Sane, that's Braden Henderson getting out of the way. And not able to get it done. Has to fall in behind for now. But that is less than ideal for Barton. Heavy contact, and now finds himself vulnerable to Aiden Holton behind as well with the damage on that GTR.
Yeah, that was a big contact there. Nicholson ejected from the curbs. The 2 cars were side by side, and Nicholson just had 4 wheels on the curbing. Oh, and I've just been kicked from the server. He got... oh no, connection failure, session start. Oh yeah, no, I have been kicked from the server. Yeah, so it was a tough one to take, but yeah, the type of contact you expect to see here at Paul Ricard. One car gets kicked off the curbs into another, and it looked like a full-blooded hockey tackle that put him into the wall there. Certainly wouldn't have been the case as these drivers continue to crack on. Barton under serious pressure once again, and Holton really putting it on him. Nicholson now running away with the Pro-Am lead, and I will try and jump back into the server.
Yeah, I think Wayne Tanner also very disappointed at the current outlook. He's also in tears, upset over the fact that he disconnected 3rd in class. So that is super heartbreaking. Hopefully we can see him back in for race number 2 later on. Fingers crossed. But at the moment, we've got Aiden Holton putting pressure on James Barton, or trying to put pressure on James Barton. Josh Stewart within 1.6 seconds, but only a minute to go. So I do not think we will see Josh Stewart get this move done by the end of this race, although they're not actually that far apart now. 1.3 seconds is the gap at the front of this field, so I'll keep an eye on it. But it looks like Simon Bishop, mistake-free, could be in control of this race. 42 seconds to go.
Monster. Yeah, monster drive by Bishop. I thought monster drive by Struick. He's not actually got the fastest lap of the race at the moment, but he has massively closed that gap on Bishop, so he'll be laying down a marker for race number 2. Bishop might be running away with the win here, but he's certainly not going to be running away with the win in race number 2 by the look of it. Struick managing to close in almost a second in the last few laps, and with 18 seconds to go, is actually, he is going to get one more lap, just 10 seconds left on the clock. He crosses the line, and we are now on to the final lap of race number 1. And tell you what, Struick has put up an almighty fight to get back into second place, and in fact close in on the leaders. But all hail Bishop. Oh, as there's more battling going on in the middle of the pack with this Halton, Barton and Sargent here down in 5th, 6th and 7th. Look how close these three are. Whoa.
Big moment for Halton. He's got that car sideways on the exit of 1. He has the position on Barton now, so he's up into 5th place. Barton's going to have a little look here, though. He thinks about it, shows the nose. Not deep enough under brakes to pull that car up and get it stopped to gain the position. Sargent is actually sniffing for 2nd in class here at the moment. Sits 3rd in class, but could find himself 2nd in class very, very soon. This is Toward actually going. So this is the championship leaders here in Pro-Am, and up the inside goes Toward, gets that move done on Bowen Piper, and that's a change of position that is crucial to the championship for the Pro-Am. So that will actually swing the championship back in Toward's favour now over Bowen Piper and put him in the championship lead. So it swings and roundabouts at the moment here in Pro-Am. It's all happening, folks. But there is not long to go in this race at all. Struick has done everything he can to try and catch Simon Bishop, but at this stage it just seems a little bit too far out of reach. Barton and Halton side by side off the exit of Sane into the hairpin. Oh, there's side-to-side contact again between the two of them. More side-to-side contact for Barton, and he will have to settle in behind Halton, and he's getting his ears boxed here today, Barton, and broken ribs. That is not what you want at all, but out of the final corner comes Simon Bishop. He capitalised on the fact that he started third. He led from turn 1. He hasn't relinquished it since. It'll be a much-needed and much-deserved victory for Simon Bishop in the sprint race here at round 8 at Paul Ricard. Struick comes home in P2. It'll be a position number 3 for Matt Simmons. A class victory for Rowan Nicholson, but a question mark over that contact with James Barton to be looked at post-race. Aiden Halton comes home P5. Barton holds on P6 over Sargent. Then Hurley will come around the final corner to finish in position number 8. Max Silver has actually dropped right down here, so something has happened to Max Silver, who sits in P15. Hurley will come home 8th. Michael Toward will cross the line in position number 9. Bowen Piper is actually slowing right down. Is he out of fuel? He's run out of fuel at the line, so Bowen Piper drops more spots, and that's crucial for the championship because he finishes in 13th place. Max Silver getting pushed. Oh, he's run out of fuel as well, and he's getting pushed across the line by Brayton Henderson. So there's actually no rules against this, folks. This is perfectly legal. I have not made any legislation against anyone being pushed across the line. And unfortunately for Max Silver, he is out of fuel, and that is why he's dropping down the order. But Brayton Henderson being a good sport and will push him across the finish line to come home in 19th place. Hagstrom, the only other car left on circuit to finish. Sheepers will finish 5 laps down after the disconnect. What a finish to that race. Simon Bishop winning, I believe, I don't know if he's won another race so far this season. Nicholson finishing in P4, taking that Pro-Am class victory, which, again, we'll have to have a look at that post-race to see if there's anything there, but I'm sure that will be looked at very, very closely, and we'll get to the bottom of that. Absolutely. That contact with Barton and Toward getting some crucial points over Bowen Piper for the championship. We'll jump over to our holding screens. We get set to go for the feature race. Well, with the feature race not too far away, I am actually hopeful, John, and we do have the ability to have a chat to Simon Bishop. So I might hand over to you while we get set up for the feature race to have a chat. I'll drag him into the booth, our race winner, Simon Bishop.
Excellent. There we go then. Round 8, race 1 winner, Simon Bishop. Finally, the Audis are able to best the Porsches, although the Porsches came flying back in the second half of the race there. Simon, that was an interesting one. Reverse order grid. You took the lead, though, into turn number 1 and did not relinquish it. A silly question here, but how was that race for you?
Yeah, at least if I'm going to qualify badly, then the reverse grid race is a good one to do that on. Yeah, it was a pretty solid race. It was the Nissan was so fast down the straight. It was so funny. He passed me like I was stood still. But then,
Yes, he did.
Josh's pace is supreme. So, man, I'm lucky it wasn't a longer race. But if you take Josh away, it was pretty good speed-wise. Pretty happy with that, and we'll see what we can do in the next one, starting slightly further down.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I was talking about the fact that the Porsches might come unstuck here this week, but certainly, as you mentioned, Josh's pace behind you there. He closed that gap down from 2.2 seconds to just under a second there at the end. I mean, another couple of laps. That would have been an almighty battle that the two of you would have had, a bit of a precursor to race number 2. How do you think he would have managed to, or do you think he would have managed to fend them off? He was looking very quick there in that second half.
Not a chance. His car was so fast down the straight. He's obviously not running a lot of wing. Yeah, I wouldn't have had any say if there'd been another lap. Probably would have just blown straight by me. So, but that's all right. There wasn't another lap, so
Indeed.
I made it to the end just in time. And yeah, the car's pretty solid. So we'll see how we go on this one. Danetti had another shocker, so he might have to try and raise the BCG flag for race number 2. But we'll see how we go.
Yes, indeed. And how are you looking forward to race number 2? I mean, a much longer race. And obviously, pit strategy is going to be very important. The last thing you want to do is come out and clear air. Often on tracks, you do want clear air after a pit stop, but being on your own here for any point in the race with no slipstream along that Mistral race could be massively detrimental. So, any insight you can give us into any potential pit strategy for race number 2?
Yeah, I think you've done more thought about it than me. I will probably just pit when I run out of fuel, I think. No, we'll see. I don't think this isn't the kind of track where you can do a short pit all that well, because I think you'll cook your tyres through the bendy bits, and I was already feeling that a little bit at the end of that 25-minute. And so this next race is double the length. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, it's the tricky thing is here's track limits as well. I think you'll see a few people fall foul of a few drive-throughs as well, because it's so tricky. It's so easy to get one. So it's just going to be a matter of focusing on making sure that we hit your lines. And in terms of pit strategy, mine will just be don't get a penalty.
That is a solid strategy, I would say. An absolutely solid strategy. Well, listen, Simon, we'll let you jump over and get yourself set up for race number 2. Huge congratulations on another podium, this time the top step. And yeah, very much looking forward to seeing what you do in race number 2, my man.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I'm talking to you at the end of this next one, I've had a hell of a day. So maybe I'll see you, maybe I won't. All right, thanks, guys.
Fingers crossed. There we go then, folks. Winner of race number 1, round number 7. And that is a good points haul to take in to the next race, which will be starting very, very shortly, Isaac. Paul Ricard never disappoints. That was some serious racing action that we've seen there in race number 1. And now we get to do it for twice as long. Hurrah!
Woohoo! No, I'm very, very excited about this. I'm looking forward to this second race, as I do pretty much every single race. But we go back to basics. The 50-minute race that lays ahead of our drivers should be very, very exciting. And Matt Danetti, Josh Struick lined up on pole position. Everyone will have a chance to reset, go again, and we'll see what happens with a pit stop thrown into the mix. Again, it's supposed to be a 60-minute race, slightly shorter, so that might actually play into a few drivers. I saw a comment earlier as I was getting set to go for, as we were getting set up for that race, someone's, with the drivers running out of fuel, someone said it's like they're refueling at $4 a litre, so it must be pretty expensive for race fuel at the moment out there, John, because they are being pretty sparing with it.
The are indeed, yes, the are indeed. A bit too sparing. A bit too sparing. It's always good to try and keep the car as light as possible. But you do want to make sure you've got enough go-go juice to go to the end of the race. Getting pushed across the line, it's only going to cost you a huge amount of positions, as we saw at the end there. Two of the, was it Nissan and a Mustang? Both of them running out of fuel towards the end. Sorry, there we go. Nope, I've been kicked out of the server again. Excellent. Let me, oh no. No, I'm in. Hurrah!
Woo!
We are in. Woohoo! So yeah, but it is amazing though, Isaac. You're right. The difference between a 50-minute race and a 60-minute race, it's only 10 minutes. That really can make a big difference to your tyres, your fuel, all these kind of things, and any potential. Running a lot of cars will run better towards the end of a stint. Some of them run better towards the start of a stint. So it certainly makes it an interesting proposition. Being that 10 minutes shorter, and we'll see if that does have any effect on any of the drivers' strategies and how they decide to, oh, there we go, take on the race with Struik and Dernetti up on the front row. It's going to be an absolute charge into turn number 1, and we'll see if everybody survives lap number 1.
Yeah, that's going to be the key here, surviving lap number 1. The formation lap is underway. Let's jump over to the field as they head off on this formation lap. It's time to go feature racing now. And 50 minutes lay ahead of our drivers. Josh Struik leads the field now after starting 10th in that last race. Matt Zanetti, he's kindly asked whoever has the voodoo doll of him, if they could stop using it now, he would be greatly appreciative, because I feel like there must be someone out there with a little voodoo doll just putting pins in it as soon as Matt Zanetti gets anywhere near the front of the field, because he has had an unfortunate run recently. Looks good.
I can neither confirm nor deny I am the holder of said voodoo doll. But just bear with me a moment while I just nip over to this corner of the room. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see at all. A couple of shout-outs from that race as well. Performances. Adam Joy gets himself into the top 10 after a couple of drivers ran out of fuel in that one. Obviously, Michael Toward now has a great point swing his way back over Bowen Piper. So Bowen Piper has a little bit of work to do here. Starts in 5th. Michael Toward is 12th. So if Piper can stay where he is, that might actually do him well, but he needs to perform in this race if he wants to be closer in that championship and keep that, well, I say keep the championship alive, it'll still be well and truly alive. There's only 2 points in it coming into this round, so any swing is a good swing for these guys, but he'll want to finish ahead of Toward regardless to try and put that championship back into his favour, give himself the upper hand going into the last round in a few weeks' time at Zolder. That will be a 90-minute race. The return of the 90-minute format, we saw it at Imola in Season 1. It went away for Season 2 in favour of the format you see tonight, sprint feature, but we've brought back the 90-minute race for the finale of this season, and I'm sure that will be absolutely fantastic, as it was at Imola in Season 1, as all our races are, and usually the longer the race, the better the racing is, John. That's the theory that I go off, and the scale that I've used to measure races so far this season. Hope you're all enjoying the broadcast out there. We appreciate your support. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying it. Share it around and subscribe to both us and TrackSpotTV for future broadcasts. If you have a racing league and you want to get some streaming for your league, or you want to be involved in commentary yourself, head over to www.trackspot.tv and have a chat to John and George over there. They are fantastic at what they do, and they're bringing some great streams to multiple platforms, including ACC, iRacing, and many, many others. And there's more to come, a lot building in the world of sim racing, especially in Australia. So make sure you go and get involved. We have one more race for you tonight, folks. Let us know who you think is going to come away with this in the comments, in the chat. Josh Struik seems to be really, really quick this season. Absolutely untouchable in that portion. Very well could be in the box seat to take home another victory here this evening. If all goes his way here at the race start, he could just disappear into the distance and no one will see him again. But that relies on it being relies on being a clean start. And we saw it a little bit messy at the top of race 1. And see what happens as we get to turn 1 for race number 2. We're not too far away. The grid is forming up. 22 cars taking to the field here. Adam Joy in 21st for this one. So slightly out of position, it does seem. But nevertheless, we push on. Not too far away from the green flag dropping. The leaders are on the front straight. Wait till we get to the green flag. Let's go, says Ryan Archer. It is indeed time to go. The green flag flies, and we are away for the feature race, the second and final race of the evening, and they're spread out once again. Drivers looking for space on the run down towards turn one. It's side by side through the two drivers on the front row, Danetti and Struick. Who's going to come out on top? It might be Matt Danetti. Here it is. Matt Danetti to the front of the field, around the outside at turn one. Had the inside line for turn two, but Struick isn't done with it yet. Might come back at him under brakes here, but Danetti's deep into the corner. Gets the car pulled up and leads this race. So Matt Danetti, we asked who had the voodoo doll. Whoever had it has thrown it away for now at least, and he falls to the front of this field. Then it is Matt Simmons, who is actually all over the back here, and Hagstrom's actually had a rough start here and is at the back of the field, but it is Struick from Zanetti from Struick from Simmons, who's putting pressure on Struick here early. So they're trying to capitalize before his tyres come up to temperature now. Can Simmons get past Struick at this early stage of the race? Henderson's also right in there and wants to be a part of this. They could go 3 wide here, John, down the back straight before we get to Sane.
Yeah, as you do, let's just go 3 wide on lap 1 with cold tyres. Absolutely no problem at all. Track temperature at 33 degrees, so they'll warm up quick enough. But here comes the battle of the Porsches. And this is going to play right into the hands of Henderson. He's going to go up the inside at turn number 12. He's got Simmons back at rights here, I think. No, of course he does. Is Matt Simmons? No, he does. He's got that big, long Mercedes nose in front. He's going to go round the outside. Oh, but he's opened himself up. Here comes Holton, and here comes Bishop. Bishop just out with the commentary box. He won race number 1. He's still very much in touch here. Coming to the end of lap number 1 for race number 2. They are jostling ahead of him. This is playing right into their hands. I'm playing at the hands of the net. Oh, and that's a bit deep by the Merc, but he's got this one done. I think this is going to be so close across the line. Absolutely ridiculous. And Henderson is just ahead of Simmons. But they're going to go full Noah's Ark formation into turn number 1. The Mercedes is going to have a Porsche either side. Well, no, he's not. I tell you what, that's like, oh, there's a bit of contact there. That's Porsche on Porsche action. And yeah, that was the teammate.
Was Aiden Holton a little bit wide there in turn 1 and made contact. Sort of the reverse of what happened to him with, I believe, Matt Simmons in the previous race. So the roles were reversed, and up the inside, Aiden Holton, side-to-side contact with Simmons, who was entitled to be there. And unfortunately for both of them, they've lost a couple of positions. So, down the order, here we go. This is Barton and Piper going at it now for the lead of the Pro-Am class, and Riley Nicholson's a part of it. So, Nicholson and Barton have picked up where they left off in race number 1. At the moment, Bowen Piper's trying to put that straight line speed of the Mustang to good use, and he's going to eat up the Porsche here. Look at the speed difference. They go side by side. A little bit of banging doors there, if you don't mind, down the back straight, just to let him know that he's there, folks, as he runs down towards Sane. He's already ahead before they even get there. And it is a positional gain. And, wide there for Holton as well. He could be vulnerable to Barton. As a result, there's more cars going side by side in the background, and up the inside goes Barton on Aiden Holton. Riley Nicholson would like a part of this as well. Silver Sergeant Sheep is also going forward in the background. It's all happening here, folks, in the opening stage of this race. There's plenty of action happening at the front, at the back, all throughout this field. There is not a lot of gap between our cars at the front as well. Struick regained his focus. He's all over the back of Zanetti now for the lead of this race.
He is indeed. Yeah, I've got no idea where to look at the moment. I think the race leaders are right on top of one another, but this battle between Henderson, Simmons and Bishop, this one is to be watched as well. I would say Piper and Holton coming across the start-finish line right in one another's pockets, with Riley Nicholson looking to make an improvement through the field. He's currently holding third. Oh yeah, on you go, Isaac.
Yellow flag at the final corner, and that is Felix Preslin. He's dropped the number of positions down to 21st place, so that is unfortunate for Felix Preslin. He will drop down the order. That is disappointing for him. He was looking strong in this race, but I believe contact with the final corner meant he was facing the wrong way. We're still focused on the lead battle, but there is, rest assured, plenty of battles happening up and throughout this field, folks. There's not much separating most drivers at this stage. We're only 5 minutes into this race, lap number 2. And Struick is trying to gain on Danetti, but Danetti absolutely nailed that start around the outside of Struick, turned to the inside at turn 2, got in front, and then bolted while Struick felt the pressure from Simmons and Holton behind. But now, here we go, Struick to the outside. He's going to have to do this the long way around if he wants to get it done at Sane. Could he get it sorted before they're there? I'm not quite sure. They are going to be side by side towards Sane. The camera angles leave a lot to be desired through Sane. They are still side by side, very wide off the road. Is Henderson in the background, but I think Danetti's going to come out on top here and holds the position after being side by side through one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Danetti stays in the lead.
He does indeed, but that is a marker of things to come, folks. That is going to be close, and I tell you what, the battle just behind them, that was Henderson absolutely violating the track limits here. He has a warning from the in-game stewards. That is number 1, too many more of them, and it's going to be a free trip into the pits that nobody wants to win.
No.
But at the moment, Danetti and Struick, a quarter of a tenth of a second separating them across the split line, and there's going to be about the same as the cross the start-finish line. Oh no, a massive 3/10. Oh, battle's over.
Give Danetti the victory now, I say. Just stop the count.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3/10 of a second. It's a gargantuan gap.
Park. As a wise man once said, you can park a B double in that gap. I think certainly someone will try to. But in the background, yeah, Simmons has gotten past Henderson, who has a warning for track limits, as he said. Simon Bishop is actually right behind Henderson as well, trying to capitalise. The battle for the Pro-Am class is spread out a little bit now. So Bowen Piper with a 1.4 second lead over Barton, who is under pressure from Holton and Nicholson. But that is about as close as it gets right now for the Pro-Ams. Meanwhile, we are still keeping an eye on this battle here at the front of the field. Danetti leads the way from Struick. I think he'll just be happy to be back at the front of the field. He felt like his form was not where he wanted it to be recently. But it has taken a turn in this race so far. We don't want to jinx it just yet. Around the outside, so a mirror of what happened last time now for Josh Struick. He's going to go the long way around once again. This time, Danetti is actually further alongside as they get to Saint and should hold on to this position once again. The straight line speed of the Audi is certainly helping the cause here for Danetti. And he stays in front at this stage, but he's going to have to work hard for it if he wants to hold on. This could be a close battle all the way to the end of this one.
Oh, contact. Oh, Tanner and Stewart, I believe that was. Stewart. No, Tanner.
Oh.
Tanner and Joy.
Boyd.
Oh.
Boyd's off the road. This could be in the wall. Has he kept it out? He has.
Oh,
Massive slide as he took evasive action for Tanner. And there's 77. So, Joy, that is unfortunate. Huge contact for Adam Joy. And he is off the road. Can he get that car moving again? I hope so, because he's sitting in a very awkward spot. He's jumped back to the pits, actually. So, he's returned to the garage. Holton's actually lost a number of spots here. So, Aiden Holton has lost a spot to Nicholson. Drops to 9th on the road. Fallen down the order. The Nicholson moves up to 8th place. Still 3rd in class, but can try and set after Barton now. Holton struggling in the early stages of this race in the Porsche. Still pressure mounting at the front. Bishop putting pressure on Henderson, who in turn is putting pressure on Simmons. So the battle for the podium also raging on here. Further down the pack, everyone's starting to spread out just a little bit, find their own sort of space and breathing area, breathing room. Here we go. What's the slipstream going to be like once again for the Porsche? He just has to be a little bit closer. He can get alongside. He has the speed to get alongside. That Porsche is very slippery in a straight line. Here we go. Pulls to the outside. Once again, look how fast that car is in a straight line. They're going to go side by side again. Can Danetti stay there, or is he further alongside this time? He might be further alongside. He is, so he's actually got that done before they get to Sane, and the car is ahead. So Struick takes the lead of this race from Danetti. He's had to work hard for that, but Danetti has pushed him all the way. But this time, he just a little bit faster in a straight line, because a little bit closer off of off of 7 on the run towards 8. Now, Danetti has to try and stay with him, but that's going to be hard considering how slippery that Porsche is. So it's Struick from Danetti, from Simmons and Henderson, and then Simon Bishop in P number 5. Riley Nicholson putting pressure on James Barton almost immediately after getting that move done on Aiden Holton.
Yeah, he's got one of his pro teammates behind him there. that he's just swapped positions with. So these two could work together nicely, and they're going to need to, because they've got the Aston Martin as Sargent behind them, and of course ahead of them they've got Piper and Barton in that GNR, which is only 3/10 of a second ahead. 6/10 now. It's really difficult to concentrate and bring an informative broadcast when Struijk is driving the way he is in that Porsche. How is it even possible that on a circuit that relies so much on top end speed, the Porsche is absolutely spanking that Audi? It's not even a contest at this moment, folks. He held behind them for 2 laps. He's already got 4/10 of a gap. I mean, Dernetti will be hoping for some slipstream here, but somebody was saying in the chat that Riley Nicholson's recovery needs to be studied. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure that it's really been a rise in Nicholson's ability or talent. It's more just been he's shed the bad luck. Struijk, on the other hand, we need to send him the place we sent Zlatan Ibrahimovic after his knee injury. Do you all remember that? He shattered his knee and they said it was going to be 18 months, and 6 weeks later he was scoring overhead kicks in Los Angeles. That type of study needs to be done. I've had knee injuries, like minuscule compared to what Zlatan had, and it took me nearly 14 months to recover. But Struijk, it's just absolutely mind-blowing to me. I've never seen Porsches outgun anything at Paul Ricard.
Here we go, battle for the Pro-Am lead. That's up the inside now. Barton has the inside line. He'll try and hold on. He pushes Nicholson a little bit wide, leaves him on the high line there. And we'll hold position for now. Holton thought he could buy into himself to a piece of this as well. If you're not following along with the timing at home, folks, by the way, with the clean air, Josh Struijk's just done a 53.5, and he's about to go even faster when he crosses the line, I have no doubt. Because he is flying right now in that car. Pushing it to the limit at this stage. There is nothing slowing that man down whatsoever. He is just an absolute freaking edge. He's actually gone slower on the previous lap, but not by that much. James Barton, his lap was not registered. It was invalid. So his last lap actually gives you a lot of different numbers because it's not a valid lap time. Further down the order, we are looking at this battle between Riley Nicholson and James Barton. Aiden Holton not too far behind this group as well. Michael Towers putting pressure on Andre Shippers for 13th place, but Bowen Piper at the moment sits in 6th, so that loss that he had when he ran out of fuel in race number 1 is starting to come back in his favour here for race number 2. Simon Bishop in the meantime has gotten past Braden Henderson, so that's a change for position up into 4th. Simon Bishop can try and set after Matt Simmons, maybe get himself back on the podium. He joked that we weren't going to hear from him again tonight, and if we did, it would have been a very good evening, but I think there is a chance we may actually hear from the man once again this evening if things keep going the way it's going, because he is pushing on right now. Henderson is trying to... Oh, big slide there for Henderson through the corner. And he is trying to keep up here with Simon Bishop, who in turn is trying to catch up to Matt Simmons. Struijk has made that Porsche very, very slippery, and he is just absolutely pulling away right now. Up the inside goes Nicholson once again. There might be a little bit of contact here. Room left between the two of them. Barton's trying to run him wide and keep him on the high. And oh, there's front to rear contact, and Barton's going to lose it. Whoa. He catches the car. Nicholson backs off to redress, and then checked up for both Sargent and Holton, but Nicholson will lose a handful of positions there as a result of the contact. And Barton, yeah, just pushed wide, tried to defend that. Maybe a little bit of movement there to cover off Nicholson and caught Nicholson out. It was front to rear contact, which resulted in Barton almost spinning. He did very well to catch that and keep that car pointing in a straight line.
Yeah, he did indeed, and it's still an absolutely solid battle that we've got going on there. And I tell you what, Holton, he will be trying his best to help his teammate there get back into the hunt, because of course behind Holton is Sargent, and then Nicholson is looking for a podium. So Sargent has taken that podium spot on the Pro-Am podium. Holton now chasing down Barton, so this could work in the favour of Nicholson here, the CP driver. Wow, and look how close they are there. We're on board on screen with green at the moment. Big shout out to Hagstrom as well. He had some kind of major issue at the start of the race. He's already made back 3 places. Now, granted, one of those has been because Joy has come in and taken his mandatory pit stop, but certainly Hagstrom at the moment, no slouch at all. He's back up to 18th place overall and closing in on a top 10 in the Pro-Ams. I think a recovery drive could well and truly be on the way here. As we are, sorry, I'm still looking up at Henderson v Bishop. There's only 88 hundredths between Bishop and Henderson at the moment, and we've already seen Henderson. He's pulled off some good overtakes, some brave overtakes. He really is a master of the brakes. Oh, as they go side by side and almost losing positions, both of them there.
And Nicholson's actually gotten past Sargent there as a result. So Sargent tried to go up the inside of Holton, had his momentum ruined by the overtake, which was, I wouldn't say ruined, but he didn't have as much momentum coming off the corner when he went for the move, and as a result, Nicholson's just driven past him and can now try and set his sights on his CP Motorsport stablemate, who's trying to put pressure on Barton. So we're back to regular scheduled pro bearing, folks, and Nicholson and Barton in the same battle once again. Nothing has really changed, but Nicholson's actually slowed up a little bit there, lost some time to these two in front. Holton will be desperate to try and get past Barton here and move up a position into P7, because they do want to try and secure this team's championship before they get to the final round. CP Motorsport's looking to go back-to-back in the team's championship, and it would be great to see them with an all-new, or not quite an all-new lineup this season. Aidan Holton, the constant in this team. Obviously, Matt Zanetti and Aidan Holton teaming up last season. This season, it is Josh Struick and Aidan Holton that have led this team to great success, as we've come to expect from CP Motorsports. Down in, trying to look at some other battles that might be happening in this field. Mark Hurley trying to put some pressure on Max Silver as they run down the back straight. That Ferrari, maybe not the strongest around here. Would be hoping for a better result, I'm sure, Mark Hurley, but the Ferrari maybe not the best place for it here in France. The French and the Italians famously not getting along super well. And up the inside, oh, contact between Holton and Barton, and off the road goes Barton, and through will go Sargent and Nicholson, and that will be fiery after this race, I am sure, but contact between the two of them, and both drivers will be fired up after that. That was heavy contact side by side.
Indeed it was. Apologies, I missed most of that because I did get kicked from the server, but I've managed to sneak my way back in. But for some reason, it's not showing me any cars.
Don't need to see cars.
It doesn't matter who. Yeah, no. Whenever I click on anybody, it's just showing me the start-finish straight and a lot of flags waving. I can't seem to select.
Helpful.
Indeed, said no one ever.
Very helpful. Yeah.
It does look like all the cars are in the pits. My goodness gracious me. Sorry, Isaac, if you bear with me a second, mate, I'll jump out the server and try and do a quick refresh, see if I can get myself back in. If not, I'll just run straight off your feed.
Absolutely, go for it. We will cover for you in the meantime. It is all happening out here at the moment, folks. With these guys, drama aplenty in the Pro-Am category tonight. Barton, unfortunately, being caught up in a couple of incidents so far this evening, which has resulted in positional loss. Race 1, there was contact between himself and Nicholson, and now there's contact between himself and Holton. And Nicholson now putting pressure on Aidan Holton for 7th place on the road. He wants to try and catch up. There's 7 seconds between himself and Bowen Piper. Those cars have disappeared at the front of this field. Reminder, we still have pit stops to serve. This is a 50-minute race, so half an hour to go in this one. We are not too far off. Probably seeing the first of the pit stops start to cycle through. Halfway point in this race will be 25 minutes. Typically, the halfway point in this race will be half an hour, but 25 minutes will be the halfway point of this race this evening due to the slightly shorter race. Henderson's still close to Simon Bishop here. He's trying to stay. He's staying with him. He's trying to get past, but that already seems a little bit slippery in a straight line. Danetti's 1.8 seconds now behind Struick, who's just disappeared into the distance. And Mr. Matt Simmons is about a second behind Zanetti. So Zanetti maybe doing a little bit of fuel saving here just to manage the car, but it's clear that Josh Struick is in a league of his own once again this evening.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Struick, again, needs to be studied. What a driver he is. Absolutely nails every lap. Bang on, bang on, bang on. And he's gaining time on Dernetti, who is our returning champion. Oh, as we see Sargent and Silver. That's almost a comedy duo or a decent band name right there. But Sargent and Silver, they have both come into the pits just short of the halfway mark. But yeah, certainly Josh Struick. It's no wonder they call him Geesh. It's incredible. He is just absolutely wild up there at the front. And I'll tell you what, Simmons is closing in on Dernetti. And Henderson, I think, is having the absolute drive of his life here. He has got this one absolutely nailed on. Why put yourself under the pressure of being the lead car in the trainer slipstream when you've got these alien level drivers behind you? Why not just stay behind them? Follow them, stay in the slipstream, potentially even study a few lines here and there and see what they're doing, because this course, the slipstream on the last lap is as effective as it is on the first lap. So if you can bide your time and size it up over the opening of the race, get through the pit stops obviously, because that's easy. I said no driver ever. But yeah, certainly Henderson. I think he's in a very, very, very good position here, and I think that Bishop will be looking over his shoulder, wondering how Henderson is going to play this, because it is a game of cat and mouse, and at the moment it is firmly Henderson that is the cat in this situation, and it's just punted me back to the start-finish line again.
Brilliant.
I've been kicked out.
Working wonders this evening. We love a set of course of competizione, don't we, folks? We love technology. Technology always works exactly how you want it to, when you want it to, every single time, without fail. Don't question me. It's always perfect. Henderson's actually dived into the lane, so he's going for the undercut on Simon Bishop here, and he's into the pits. I don't know if anyone else is going to follow him just yet. Actually, Barton is, so Barton's into the lane as well. It's a very, very quick pit lane here. It sneaks up on you. You have to be careful not to overspeed here on the entry to this one. But Henderson going for the undercut. Barton also trying to maybe get himself some track position in this one. Holton and Nicholson still battling away for position. Sheppers and Toward also battling for position just outside the top 10 in this race. Now, I will say Wayne Tan has also lost connection as well, so unfortunately Wayne Tan has dropped out of this race, which is a shame. So connection issues going around this evening, unfortunately, for a number of drivers and our commentary team, which is very, very frustrating, absolutely, folks. Speaking of, we just want to come back to this man on our screen, Martinetti. So Josh Struick, Martinetti, aliens in their own right. Scary for anyone that owns a PC out there and does iRacing. Martinetti has just acquired a PC. Oh, he spun! Martinetti has spun. He's off the road.
What?
Martinetti has spun. Kept it out of the wall. But that car just did not turn when he arrived at Sane. It went the wrong way. You saw him pirouetting in the background. He is off the road. Thankfully, there was a large enough gap between Holton and Piper that he has come back out just in behind Bowen Piper. But that is a huge moment. Not entirely sure what has caused that for the reigning champion. That is a massive moment, and whoever has that voodoo doll has just put a spike in it at that very moment in time, because it looks like he went to turn in and that car did not rotate the way he wanted. It just spun. Very, very scary indeed. Will he dive into the pits here for a pit stop? He will, so he's going to come into the lane.
100%.
Very, very smart. That is a smart move. Simon Bishop also in, Bowen Piper in just in front of him as well. So both of them diving in for their pit stops. I was going to comment, Martinetti's actually just acquired a PC. So if you play iRacing and you're on PC, look out, because this guy is now going to be in your area and trying to beat you not only on iRacing, but not only on ACC, but also on iRacing. I think that's a terrifying thought. Unfortunately, giving him screen time and talking about him meant that he dropped a wheel and spun the car. So we'll come back to him a little bit later. We'll let him try and regather his thoughts there and push on. Nevertheless, another number of drivers into the lane as well. Shepard's also diving in. Holton and Nicholson will push on and continue. Hurley will continue. But we have Henderson and Sargent actually leading this field. Something has happened to Barton. I think it's the damage repair that's actually cost him time in the pits. So he's got that damage repaired on that car, but he has come out a considerable way behind Peter Sargent. And he's come out some 11 seconds behind Braden Henderson.
sorry, I was just getting myself back into the server again. I've just been punted once again. They really don't like the Scots in these Aussie servers, do they? Where were we talking about? Yeah, so pit stops have been taken. Simon Bishop, he has taken his. He is now the lead car to have taken his pit stop. We've got 25 minutes left, so bang on halfway of the race. Dernetti coming in for a well-timed pit stop after absolutely cooking his tyres through Lausanne. He's come in and got that tyre change done. Struik is staying out though, Isaac, and I can't say I blame him. Once again, he's got himself out in the lead. He's going to extend that first stint. We've seen him do it a few times this season, and it's very, 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 very rarely gone from as Simmons comes into the pits, and I think Halton might fall. No, he doesn't, but Nicholson does come in. So Nicholson comes in from the lead of the Pro-Am, Simmons in from second place, and a couple of chopping and changing here, but Braden Henderson,
first of the cars that have stopped.
Oh, is ahead of Bishop.
He is ahead of Simon
Yes.
Bishop. He's come out 2 seconds clear of Simon Bishop, so that's key. But hey, look at how loose that car is in the background. He is pushing to try and stay with these guys. He'd love a top 5 finish here this evening. He was on for a podium placing, but will, I'm sure, be still relatively happy with the top 5 if he can come away with it here this evening. Sayers, Stewart, and Green also into the lane for their stops. Hagstrom will push on, as will Toward. So there's only 4 cars left on, 5 cars, yeah, 4 cars left on the circuit that haven't stopped, and they are Struick and Holton, so the 2 CP1 cars, Michael Toward, and Dale Hagstrom. So they are the only cars left to stop in this race as we reach the halfway point. Where is Matt Simmons? Has left the lane. There's Braden Henderson. Here he comes. He's going to have to pull to the inside to get around him as he leaves the pits, but he has come out in front. So Henderson's actually jumped everybody here. Almost could threaten to jump Josh Struick if he keeps going. On the last lap, it was a 54.5 for Josh Struick. Henderson did, if I can find his time, a 54.5 as well. So they're matching times at the moment, Henderson and Struick. This is massive because there could be positional change here, and Henderson could threaten the lead of this race if Struick stays out for much longer. He is pushing in that Mercedes on fresh tyres. He's now ahead of Simmons, Bishop and Donetti. That'll put him in net second place on the road. Once these stops play out, Struick is continuing on once again. So he is not interested in stopping just yet. He did a 54.5 on this lap. We'll have to see what Henderson's doing with clean air. He has all the clean air in front of him at the moment. Holton is in, takes out the 50 board with him. Not that many people need it anymore. Can Tower get this car pulled up? Does. Sees the line at the last second. Hagstrom, will he come in this time by for his stop? We'll wait and see exactly whether he does or not. With 22 minutes to go, he stays out and pushes on. So not yet stopping for our race leader. Not yet stopping for Hagstrom. Henderson, though, is pushing this car. He is, well, in a very, very commanding spot here, John.
He is indeed, yeah. Sorry, Isaac, I'm going to be relying purely on your feed from now on, mate. I've just been kicked again, and I'm not going to give the PlayStation the satisfaction of signing in again. So that's, what, the 7th time now I've been kicked? So yeah, let me just, I'll run live off your feed. Apology, folks. There'll be a slightly less information that we're able to bring you, but we will still be able to bring it nonetheless. The server's not enjoying having me in there today. Oh no, don't crack that joke. But yeah, Henderson looking very, very, very good indeed. That Mercedes, I mean, the Mercedes has done well here today particularly. We've seen Henderson with some very, 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 very good overtakes so far. And he's putting in a very good drive at the moment. Halton is out ahead of him and Toward. Henderson
We'll wait and see when we get to
is
the
going to
lines.
be right in the hunt there though. Oh, yep, of course, so Henderson is ahead. Simmons and Bishop go ahead of Dernetti. Dernetti with a good recovery. He's back out in 6th place in a 2.5 to go. Look how close those two are. Wow, Piper and Toward, I believe that is.
Halton and Piper. So that is Halton and Piper that are now very, very close together. Halton with the lead of the Pro-Am class. But Halton has actually come back out in front. In the lane will come Josh Struick this time. No, he's kept on going once again. So he's not interested in stopping just yet. His previous lap was a 54.5 again, and a 54.5 for Henderson. So they're actually matching each other at the moment. There's not much difference between these two on circuit right now, but it is competitive out there right now, folks. It is all happening in the land of ACC, in the land of AGT. 20 minutes to go in this race. How much longer will Stewart go on? Henderson, can he bring this car home where he sits right now in P2? What has Simon Bishop got in the tank for Matt Simmons? Can Bishop get on the podium here? Knock off Matt Simmons in the 8 car. That could be a massive upset here, couldn't it? Aiden Holton and Bowen Piper are still battling away for position as well. Piper has found a way past Holton in that very, very quick Mustang. So that could change before we get to the end of this race as well. Simon Bishop still in behind across the line. We're keeping an eye on these lap times for you, folks. A 55.4 for Stewart, a 55 flat for Henderson. So he is now 5/10 quicker. He is pushing in that car. He is trying his best to absolutely fly at the moment. He is, well, desperate to get to the front of this field. And Stewart, he won't want to stay out much longer.
No, well, we say that, but it's Struick. Now that you've said he won't want to stay out much longer, he probably will stay out till about 5 minutes left. That is the amount of pace that he's got. We'll see if he does decide to come in, but as you mentioned there, his lap times are coming down. Of course, there we go, Isaac. That is why you are the lead commentator, and I am merely here to back you up, my friend, because you have the slightest clue what you're talking about. Me, on the other hand, perhaps not so much, it seems.
Well, I time and time again, John, hype up the fact that we could see a close pit exit between Josh Struick and the car in second place. But looking at where Henderson is on the circuit, I really don't think we will. Struick's in his pit box already. He is more than comfortable. I think he's going to have a large lead when this all plays out and he comes out of the lane here in about 20 seconds' time. I do not think there is any concern for Josh Struick whatsoever. He will be in absolute control of this field when that car drops, which is not too far away from doing so. So Henderson will be in second, but there will be a large gap, I would imagine, to Josh Struick. It's not going to be as close as we once thought it might have been. We're watching for Struick to drop. And there we go. The car does drop, and he will roll down the lane. Henderson's coming towards the final corner now, but it's not too far before he gets off the limiter here. Struick, there is the pit exit line. Struick's out of the final corner. Car 22, drive through. That is Andre Sheppers, and out comes Josh Struick onto the circuit. And where is Brandon Henderson? There he is. So some ways behind. He is still in second place, but not as close as I think we were hoping it probably would be between himself and Josh Struick. Hagstrom actually inherits the race lead, having yet to stop in this race. Sheppers will have to serve that drive-through within the next 3 laps. That is unfortunate. That's for track limits as well, folks. So that drive-through coming through from the race from race control on tries to get that car. I think just hug the inside to indicate that he's going to come into pit lane. That is unfortunate for Sheepers. He was running very well in this race. He's had a tough night tonight. Disconnected in race number 1. Drive-through in race number 2. That is very, very unfortunate. Danetti in P6. No, he's lost another position. He's lost a couple of positions here to both Piper and Holton. So another off-track excursion for Matt Danetti. He drops to P8.
Yeah.
Oh, he's jumped back to the pits. He's up the pits.
He's obviously got some kind of issue.
Yeah, he's unfortunately jumped back to the pit lane. And drive-through cleared for car 22. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with Matt Danetti, but this could be night, unfortunately, day done for the number 1 car. Again, someone has that voodoo doll, and they're not doing very nice things with it. And if they could please stop so that Matt Danetti could have a great race, that would be fantastic. But he will drop down the order as he is now back in the pit lane. So it's an unfortunate evening, and it's been so tough to watch for the 1 car. He had such pace last season, and he does have a lot of pace in this Audi, but it just hasn't been able to piece it together so far in the last few rounds.
Indeed, yeah. He's almost done a Liverpool FC. If anyone knows the English Premier League, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Liverpool absolutely dominant last season. And yeah, this season couldn't string 2 passes together, never mind score any useful goals. So yeah, the returning champion, he's got the curse of the returning champion. They're dropping down the order, but the driver that we've got on stream, a very, 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 very worthy replacement up at the top of the championship standings. Struick I mean, has he put a foot wrong this season? If he has, it's been wiped from memory because of the absolutely dominant performances he's had up at the front. There's been some incredible battles, but Struick absolutely running away with it at the moment. He is just all-conquering. I mean, Braden Henderson is in second. Hagstrom comes into the pits. Now, hopefully he exits, because I was about to say all the drivers deserve an extra pat on the back, because we have not seen any penalties for violating the pit lane speed limit, which is so easy to do, as Isaac alluded to, because that pit entry is quick. I understand the designer's thought process. We've got a long track, let's make it a short pit, unlike some other courses. But yeah, it's a bit of a short entrance, and yeah, it does look like Dernetti is done.
Yeah, Luke's in the chat saying it's not the driver, it's the Audi. And look, I have to agree, there's nothing wrong with Matt Dernetti. He is a very, very talented driver, incredibly quick. But this Audi is incredibly tough to drive, and he knew that coming into this season. He did say he picked the Audi, he wanted to have a bit of fun. He knew it was going to be a tough car to drive, but I don't think him or Simon Bishop expected it would be this tough. It has been an absolute handful on occasion. This car, one of the best cars, I would say, on ACC on PC, but because of the difference in physics here and the fact that it's not really the elevation that's included in the air pressure that we have on PC, it's just not quite the same to drive on console, and it is, as a result, one of the toughest cars on console to drive. But look, they've done a great effort to put in the performance that they have with it, and for Dernetti to have the results that he's had with the Audi. Same for Simon Bishop. They have driven out of their skin. It just shows the raw talent these guys have to make anything go fast. If you put them in a Porsche or an Aston Martin or even a BMW this season, I think you see them both first and second running away with this championship, or at least taking it to Josh Struick and matching him tit for tat every single round this season. But it's a massive difference from console to PC for this car especially. But they've done a great job, and unfortunately for Dernetti, it just hasn't gone his way the last few rounds. And the voodoo doll, if anyone's got it, if they could just get rid of it, that would be wonderful, because I'd love to see a great result for Dernetti before this season is over. He qualified really well tonight, was looking strong early, that massive spin just before his pit stop, and then unfortunately it's come unstuck here in the second phase. And car 91, a drive-through for track limits. So James Barton, a drive-through for track limits. Ooh. He's sitting in P9. That's going to drop him well outside the top 10 now. Fourth in class. And that is very, very unfortunate for the Harlem Motorsport car. He's looked quick all evening in the GTR. That is super disappointing. A number of drivers getting hard luck this season.
Indeed, yeah. It's so easily done, as our race one winner. Wow, that was easy. As our race one winner mentioned, it is so easy to pick up track limit violations around this course, because you have to be so committed on the curves. Oh, as we can see, Barton running it massively wide there. That's not, if he picks up any more track limit warnings while he's got the drive-through, it's going to instantly promote him to a stop-go 30-second penalty. So it really needs to be careful bringing it in. You don't want to make a bad situation worse. We've got a battle coming up on the podium, though. It is BCG versus BCG. Simmons versus Bishop. Porsche versus Audi. Tale as old as time here at the AGT ACC Season 3. And oh, that is close into the braking zone again. But the Porsche, so much quicker through the twisty stuff, and he manages to just eke out that gap once again. But Bishop will certainly be girdering his loins for these last 10 minutes and looking for some slipstream assistance across the finish line. And hoping to get himself up onto the podium, although teammate on teammate. We'll see if any team orders do fall into place here. Struick now 3.8 seconds ahead of Henderson. Henderson's had an absolutely phenomenal drive, Isaac. I think for me, he's going to have to be driver of the day. We've seen how dominant Struick, Simmons, Bishop, Dernetti, all these drivers have been up at the top, and Henderson in that Mercedes only 3 seconds down on Struick, but he's got 1.5 ahead of Simmons and Bishop. So Henderson has put in an absolutely phenomenal drive, as well as a couple of world-class overtakes. So he himself is having a great drive. As we can see, the drive in the slipstream from Bishop, trying to get past his teammate. Oh, it's froze for me. There we go on the exit. They are absolutely nose to tail here, and for all the world, Isaac, it does look like the Audi is the quicker of the two cars here, but the Porsche is having absolutely none of that.
It certainly is not. The Porsche is doing everything it can to stay in front here. in the closing stage of this one. Just over 10 minutes to go, 11 minutes to be exact, left on the clock. Stewart out in front, 4 seconds over Braden Henderson. He is lapping very quick out there at the moment in the 154s once again. And it is a 150. It's actually still, Braden Henderson technically still faster. I'm going to make sure that's actually up to date with the lap times that we're seeing, because according to my laps, yeah, he is faster. He actually is not faster. So it's a 53.9 on the previous lap for Stewart, 54.3 for Henderson. Simmons invalidated that previous lap. Simon Bishop with a 153.9 as well. So he's actually matching Josh Stewart at the moment. He is super quick in that Audi, pushing as hard as he can to try and catch the car in front, and together the two of them are trying to work together to catch Henderson. So there's a bit of BCG teamwork going on here in this one to maybe try and get past Henderson in the closing stages of this race.
Yeah, the two of them working together absolutely could yield them rewards if they could again stay in that slipstream. The speed difference is going to be absolutely incredible as Henderson is being massively closed in on. So just as I gave him a load of kudos for potentially bringing home a podium, the two drivers behind have decided that they are not too keen on that arrangement. And with 10 minutes left to go, they've only got a second between them. Struik has just extended the gap at the front as well. He's now up to 4.2 seconds. I don't know what's more surprising, how quickly he is extending the gap, or the fact that I'm surprised that he's extending the gap. I'm not sure which is the more surprising, to be honest, but certainly he is absolutely flying up at the front. And I tell you what, we've now got ourselves a three-way battle for 2 podium positions, and it is Bishop, I think, is best placed. I've often said it's the third car in the equation that is the best position in one of these battles, and that certainly seems to be the case as Halton and Piper closing in. Piper looking to hang on to the Pro-Am lead, so this will be more pride to hang on to 5th if he can. If Halton is looking that much quicker though, I would let him go if I was Bowen Piper and bring home that Pro-Am win. No point in getting yourself caught up in any extraneous battles that you don't need to be in. I tell you what a final corner that is. From Halton. He is all over the back of him going into turn number 1, and the Porsche could find himself nipping through here. The Mustang in a straight line is pretty good, but the Porsche in a slip, whoa, he thought about it, and he's unsettled the car there, Isaac. I tell you, he's almost done himself a huge disservice here. A bit of a wiggle, trying to show a manoeuvre that was never going to happen against Piper. Oh, wow, look at that. He's gone from disaster to delight there. He's closed right back in. Piper really feeling the pressure. He is on him like white on rice. This is absolutely incredibly close. And again, with Henderson, Simmons and Bishop only a second separating those 3 drivers on 2 of the 3 podium spots. We're going to have another grandstand AGT finish here, I think. And I tell you what, Bishop is all over the back of Simmons. Simmons now well within striking distance for Henderson as they head along the Mistral Straight on lap number 21. We've only got 7 minutes left to go. Oh, and that is a good exit there through Lassane and along the Mistral Straight once again. Piper and Halton. Has Halton got the slipstream get up and go to get close? No, he does not. Piper with a good exit out with turn number 10, and that sees him enter Lassane with a bit of a gap, or certainly the same gap that he had coming out or onto the Mistral Straight. Sorry, falling over myself here because it is so close. Bishop on Simmons, I think, is about to be an overtake attempt. There's only 77 hundredths ahead of him. 77 hundredths difference between them across that start-finish line as Halton looking to do the same through sector number 3. Piper looking to hang on to overall 5th. And Halton looking to get himself that little bit closer. With 6 minutes left to go though. I think Halton out with the hunt for the podium. Oh, I'll tell you what, he slid that around the last corner. He's going for it on this lap by the look of it.
Oh, Max Silva. Drive-through for track limits as well. So he's sitting in 11th place. That is gutting stuff. The 3rd driver to fall victim in this race with only 6 minutes to go as well. That is heartbreaking stuff for the Defy Motorsports driver. This is the battle for 5th place on the road. Straight into the pit lane comes Max Silva as well to serve that immediately. So he'll get that out of the way while he still can. All the time it runs out. This has been great for these two, but really they've just been a 15-second gap to cars in front, and they still have a fair gap to the cars behind as well, which is Nicholson led by Sargent, and then Hurley in 9th, and Michael Toward rounding out that top 10 finish. Simon Bishop still all over the back of Matt Simmons, and as well, Simmons all over the back as Henderson as a result. So it's quite close between these three at the moment for the last spot on the podium, or the last 2 spots on the podium, I should say. Henderson would have felt like he was in control, but that early stop coming back to bite him now with the life of these tyres and just how much they are wearing. Not able to get the move done this time either, Holton, so he'll have to stay in behind for now in 6th place. Thieg's about to look up the inside on the Mustang, but Mustang just parking itself in good spots to not be able to be overtaken. Defending beautifully. Here we go. A dive up the inside for Simmons, is it? Thinks about it. Shows the nose. Henderson's left him room, gone wide. He's on the curbs. Oh, contact between Bishop, and Simmons. And almost put Bishop in the wall as Simmons went to try and get past Henderson, and that's meant that everyone stayed where they are. Henderson ran wide, was caught on the curb, went deep trying to defend there, and it caught him out. Simmons looked to capitalise, and then the contact with himself and Bishop meant that there was a little bit more to the story. Simmons and Bishop stay in 3rd and 4th at the moment. It is still close between Holton and Piper. Actually, Piper's dropped right behind, so Piper's dropped off here. Something has happened to Bowen Piper. He's lost all his time and is now riding behind Nicholson. So we'll keep an eye on that battle, because that's now the Pro-Am class lead battle. And Michael Toward has fought his way back to 10th place off. Bowen Piper loses a spot here. That's more points in the championship that he could look to lose. That's the last thing you'll want here, folks, this evening, is to lose more championship points and have that battle be closer heading into the final round. It's still line astern here. Simmons having to think about a move on Henderson. Will he have to go the long way around here? He will have to go the long way if he wants to get it done, but Henderson is in front by the time they get to Sane. And it's not close enough. Thinks about showing the nose, but again, not close enough on this occasion. We'll question over whether there's any track limits warnings for these guys, and if so, what one are they on? Rowan Nicholson not able to keep up with that Mustang in a straight line. It is just absolutely gapping the Aston Martin with the run down the Mistral Straight. Look at that gap. That is ridiculous. But this is a close battle. 3 minutes to go, John. Not a lot of time left. Bishop, if he wants to get on the podium, he's going to have to make something happen soon.
Yeah, and you used the absolutely correct word there, make. He's going to have to make some... Oh, and he spun!
That is a spin from Matt Simmons. That has opened the door for Simon Bishop. We said he's going to have to make something happen, and he didn't need to. The seas have parted. Simmons got a little bit loose on the exit of the final corner, and as a result, Simon Bishop jumps up into position number 3. Could see himself with the 2nd place here with the pressure that he could put on Brayden Henderson with only 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a solid move if he is going to get himself up to that 2nd place. Henderson has been very, very, very good through the corners with those overtakes. Simmons making that minor mistake there. So now Bishop, if he's going to make something happen, he can now make it happen to get up to 2nd place. Which would be a very, very, very good result indeed. Henderson, though, doing his absolute best to hang on to that. He must be, I wonder, I seriously doubt he's getting near to here, actually. The pressure he is under at the moment must be absolutely incredible as he leads the slipstream train once again along the Mistral Straight. But it is Simon Bishop who is now got his Audi badge absolutely closing in, and this is an entirely different affair. We will see what happens through Sane. Will we see any insanity through Lesane on the penultimate lap, or indeed the last lap? Bishop certainly getting close. Oh, that's a slightly different line the 3 drivers take through there. They all managed to keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard, just about. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation that we would have to have, Isaac, given the one you raised there about the track limit warnings. Is anyone one warning away? As Boyd picks up a drive-through. So Boyd certainly was. Boyd picking up a drive-through in the closing stages. I mean, that's not bad. I was expecting about 6 or 7 drive-throughs for track limits. We've only seen 3 so far, so that the drivers have done incredibly well over these 50 minutes. No one has done as well as Struik, of course. He's now 8.5 seconds in the lead.
Final lap has started.
Absolutely ungodly.
It is ungodly indeed. Final lap has started for our race leader, Josh Struick. So this is the last opportunity for Simon Bishop to try and get himself into second place. He's right in behind Brayden Henderson. There is not a lot of time left. Only one more lap. What does he have on the Mistral Straight? Can he make something happen here? He will have to work hard for this opportunity if he wants to move into second. A first and a second tonight could be brilliant for the Audi driver for BCG1. And Simon Bishop, a drive-through cleared. Continued for Matt Boyd. He'll have to serve that before the race is over, but considering they're on the final lap, that may actually not count, so he'll get it given a 30-second penalty instead. Out of the sixth corner into turn number 7 now. Onto the back straight. What can happen here for Simon Bishop? Massive lead for Josh Struick. 8 seconds up the road from this group of cars. He has been flying here. Here we go. Pulls to the left. He's still sitting in the slipstream though. Henderson is defending that inside line. Nothing will make him move from where he is. He's going to walk it back over across the track to try and cut off Simon Bishop. Simon Bishop's going to have to work hard for this. Into saying they go. Oh, a little bit loose there for Bishop. Sorry, for Henderson. This could open the door for Bishop up the inside. I thought that was going to be contact there. They've just avoided it. And a wide line for Henderson. They're going to be side by side off the exit of the corner. The fast, long, sweeping right-hander into the left-hander now. There's not long to go in this race at all. And up the inside comes Matt Simmons. Simmons wants a part of this as well now. He wants back on the podium. Bishop will have nothing to do with it if he can help it. Josh Struick is going to come out of the final corner and once again cement himself as the champion-elect for Season 3 and take the victory. The leader has finished the race. It is Josh Struick that takes the victory, but they're line astern. Look at them on the final straight. Matt Simmons side by side with Simon Bishop as they cross the line. There is nothing in it there between the three of them. Absolutely nothing left in that. It is still going as well. Aiden Holton will come home in 5th. Bowen Piper and Riley Nicholson still going for it for the lead of the Pro-Am class. Bowen Piper takes a very narrow line into the final corner. Could Riley Nicholson have the run here? He's in the slipstream with Bowen Piper. He's going to pull to the outside. I don't think he's going to have the straight, and he won't. Bowen Piper holds on. Then it's Peter Sargent, Mark Hurley, and Michael Toward. James Barton, what a drive after that drive through to come back to 11th place. He's got Sayers right in behind him, though. This isn't done yet. Sayers could get back up into P11, but I think, and I say think, Barton will have this position to come home in position number 11, and he will, and that's a great comeback drive for him. Hagstrom comes home in position number 13 after starting from the back of the field with early issues. Xander Stewart will cross the line in 14th, Rowan Green in 15th, and Max Silver just behind in 16th. Andre Shepard's unfortunately a difficult evening for him in strong positions in both races. And then it all comes undone, and he finds himself in position 16 as Josh Struick is disqualified. Why has Josh Struick been disqualified? Well, I'd say that will be after the checkered flag. That may potentially be for driving backwards. So that will still stand. Josh Struick will take the victory no matter what happens here, folks. I believe he's been disqualified, John, for driving backwards, which the game does not take too kindly to.
Indeed, it does not, no. So, yeah, Struick, with some celebratory donuts or something at the end, he's rolled backwards a bit, and it's given him a TSQ, but he is the race winner, as Joy is going to be the last driver to come across the line. Tough race for Joy, really promising start to tonight's event, and he's stopped just short of the line. Has he run out of fuel? Surely
I think
not.
he has run out of fuel. Yeah, unfortunately for Joy, he has run out of fuel. So there is, and Josh confirming that it was donuts that unfortunately meant that he was disqualified from the race. That is very unfortunate. But we will take the victory over Brayden Henderson, Simon Bishop, and Matt Simmons. Nothing left in it between the three of those. He just wanted to go and say hi to his teammate, and unfortunately, he's been disqualified from the event. So we will get that fixed up, obviously, in post, and he will keep that race victory. I don't see any reason for him to be disqualified for doing post-race donuts. I think that's play on. But we'll try and have a chat to some drivers now, and I will show us over to the chatting screen, and we'll get a couple drivers in to have a conversation. Well, it's time to have a chat to some drivers. We'll get in first. The man that was Pro-Am Championship leader and potentially could come away this evening, still in the lead of the Pro-Am Championship. It is, of course, Bowen Piper. Mo, welcome, or Bowen, Mo, whatever you like to be called. Welcome into the chat, mate. It's a pleasure to have you in here. Congratulations. You had to work hard for that in the end. Riley Nicholson pushing you all the way to the finish line.
Oh, man. Tell me about it. I had a massive slide and my tyre life just dropped off completely about halfway through the second stint. And yeah, the pressure was really on. If that lap back marker wasn't on the straight, I reckon Riley would have had me.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it was pretty competitive between you two. That Mustang, though, looks very, very quick in a straight line. I think there'll be a few people out there that were hoping we put a bit more weight in it after tonight. Were you feeling good in the car? Did it feel nice around here?
It did feel nice, but I sort of struggled to find a setup that felt good all around. So yeah, it was just trying to manage the tires really, and then try and just stay in the top half of the field.
Yeah, well, race one seemed a little bit difficult for you. Talk to us about what happened. You qualified pretty well, but then you fell down the order. What happened in race number one?
Yeah, well, actually, I got caught up in the incident at the start. I think it was Hagstrom that turned sideways, and I just pretty much T-boned him, and then someone ran into the rear of me. So I had like 10 kilometers less than what my top speed would normally be going down that straight. So that advantage gone, and sort of just tried to fight out and pick off what I could with the damage that I had.
Yeah, certainly seemed like a bit of a comeback drive there, and Tower got the points on you in race number one, but you got the points on him in race number two, which sets up what I would say is probably going to be a very, very grandstand finish. Unfortunately, it's all over for the Pro Championship. Jeez has all but won that. I do not see anyone catching him from here mathematically, but for you and Toward, and potentially even Nicholson after his results this evening, it's going to be very close at the front of that field.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be an exciting round 9 for the overall Pro-Am Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
fun. Looking forward to it.
How are you feeling about Zolder? Obviously, we'll just get your quick thoughts on Zolder. It's a couple of weeks away now, but a 90-minute race in the Mustang. Do you know what to expect?
Zolder. I don't like Zolder. We'll just leave it.
I'm sure Toward is wonderfully excited to hear that. But no, congratulations on the result tonight, mate, in race number 2. And looking forward to seeing how you get on in the final round with the championship on the line.
Thanks. Cheers, Isaac.
That is Bowen Piper there. And what a result for him tonight. A very strong result indeed. Let's have a chat to the man that finished in third place in the end. And I'm just double checking to make sure I absolutely got that right. And I did get it right. He did finish it. I don't know what happened at the end there, John. It was fairly hectic, but I'll hand it over to you to have a chat to Simon Bishop.
Indeed, yes. Joining us once again, he did say after race number 1, if he joined us in the commentary box of race 2, something has gone very well, and it looks like something has, Simon. That was quite the finish there. 3-way battle for 2 podium positions, and it was all down to something that we've not seen often this season. A mistake by a Porsche, which is let you sneak in there and grab yourself a third place. An interesting race. How did you find it? You might need to unmute your mic, Simon. Hello, Simon. Are you with us?
Fortunately, it doesn't look like we have Simon unless he's got his headset muted. He just left. He might try and come back and have another chat. He's just jumped in the waiting room. We'll drag him in here again. Have we got you there, Simon?
Can you hear me this time?
Yes, we can.
There we go.
Perfect. How was my race? It was awesome. It was the best race of the season. Survived lap 1, got 3 shortcut penalties in the first 3 laps. Spent the rest of the race desperately avoiding the white lines, and then it all kicked off at the end. How good was it?
It was absolutely epic. That's one of the best things about doing this job at this time in the morning. I get to go back and watch the stream back in its entirety. Yeah, how did you feel race 2 panned out? I mean, between the pit stops, as you mentioned, we were surmising that a couple of drivers might have track limit penalties. I mean, that must have been, as we say here in Scotland, squeaky bum time. on those last few laps, being so close to two other cars and being within range of a podium with those track limits. I mean, you must have been absolutely sweating bullets while enjoying every second of that race at the end there.
100%, mate. I really did not want to have all that end with me getting a penalty on the last lap, but it was close. But Braden did an amazing job. He took advantage of both me and Matt making mistakes in the pits. I stalled again. Jish was too good. Josh was great, as kind of expected. And then me and Matt just knew we'd get there eventually if we just kept going towards the front. And then some of the moments were wild. I hope you got them all on the stream because we were just going 100% the whole time. And it was great. It was so much fun. We barely touched each other at all. Like I said, Braden did a great job because he cooked his tyres in the first stint, which meant he had to go longer in the second one, but he did a 53.5 at one point, which would be like pretty good qualifying lap. But
Yep.
yeah, really good. Really happy with it. And like I said, about an hour ago. I can't believe I'm here, but here I am.
Indeed, yeah, another absolutely solid performance. You really have wrestled that Audi up on the podium in several races this season, and it's been an absolute pleasure to watch. We've got one more left to go. 2 hours around Zolder. How is the out? And remember, keep the language clean. We're not allowed to swear, so just try and be careful with this one. How are you looking forward to the Audi behaving around Zolder next time out, he says with a straight face.
Yeah. It's going to be a fond way to send it off, I guess is the best way to say that, John. Like, I don't think there's many cars that are good there if that's a positive. So, it could be worse, but we'll see how we go. It's just going to be a matter of praying every time you get to that wee chicane every lap for 2 hours. But other than that, yeah, it'll be, yeah. Like we were talking about it, Matt and I, and it seemed like a good idea to choose the Audi at the start of the season, but yeah, I don't think we'll be able to get. But that's fine. It's been fun, but we'll go one more time next time.
I mean, if you can get these kind of results in that kind of car, it certainly is a phenomenal performance and a phenomenal drive, and it's been a great season for you so far, Simon. Another absolutely incredible podium result tonight, and it's some thank you for the racing that we got over the end of that race session today, and massively looking forward to seeing what the insanity of Zolder brings in 2 weeks' time.
Well, I'm glad someone will enjoy it. Cheers, guys.
There we go then, folks. Simon Bishop once again joining us in the commentary box. Absolutely love these interviews. Such a good group of guys. Guys and gals here driving at AGT, Isaac, and that is Bishop back on the podium once again. But of course, it was only third place. I believe we are going to get driver of the day in because I said he is. Braden Henderson in next.
Yeah, we certainly are. Here he is, Mr. Driver of the Day. Braden Henderson with that wonderful undercut strategy gets himself on the podium, and we get the pleasure of having a chat to him. Braden, congratulations, mate. P2 in that second race. Some really solid results tonight. You must be happy with that.
Cheers, guys. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I'm stoked. I couldn't believe I actually pulled off that undercut, as you say. I don't know why, but in the first half of the race, I actually forgot how to drive. So I kind of dropped back a couple positions. I don't know why. It happened. And I was like, oh, shit. So what do? I pulled in behind.
Language. Apologies, folks. The drivers do get a bit excited. Yeah, a bit of a slip up there, but he'll be straight on the naughty step. Don't you worry.
Uh-oh, my bad. Yeah, so I sat in behind Bishop, I think, and kind of retaught myself how to drive. And I kind of built up enough confidence and courage to go, you know what? I reckon I'm quicker than these guys. And so I boxed and then tried to pull the undercut off, and it kind of worked, which is amazing.
Yeah, so, it's you looked fairly quick. At one stage, you were much quicker than G-Shout there, which was excellent.
I
but
could not believe it. Yeah.
it was. Look, we
And
were
then his
hopeful.
tires fell off.
Well, we were hopeful that there was maybe going to be a little bit of a closer gap between the two of you when you came out the pits. But again, Jeesh is just absolutely nuts. And then, as you said, yeah, the tyres fell off. But it set up an absolutely brilliant battle between yourself and Simmons and Bishop at the end. Was that? I was sure it was stressful, but did you also have some fun in that battle?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was sweating buckets watching my rearview mirror the entire time, but it was fantastic just to race those guys. It was really close in the end, and I was trying to not forget how to drive again. It was kind of happening. My legs were shaking, so I was starting to slip up, but it was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a lot of fun. Talk to us about the final round, mate. In a couple of weeks, you're sitting in the top 7 in the championship. You're in P6 at the moment. How are you feeling heading into Zolder with that 9-minute race around there?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I don't think I've actually raced Zolder, so I might have to do a bit of practice beforehand. Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully, I just end up passing Bowen in the championships, and then I'll be pretty stoked with that. missing those last 2 rounds cycling with Valtteri Bottas was pretty fun. So, but yeah, it's definitely hampered, I think, my season at the moment. But we'll look forward to trying catching up a bit more in the last round.
I mean, nothing wrong with missing some racing to do a bit of road racing with Valtteri Bottas, am I right? That sounds like a lot more fun than this, but would have been a great experience. But yeah, congratulations, mate, once again on this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back on the podium again when we go racing in a few weeks' time at Zolder.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
There we go. Braden Henderson there in a very strong position. Great to see him back on the podium tonight. And John, I'll hand over to you to talk to our final member this evening. Look, I was going to bring him in and say he's the race leader, John, but if I consult my timing here, he's actually been disqualified from the race. So if you want to just interview the man that got disqualified from the race, John, that would be fantastic.
I know, absolute hooligan. What a reprobate this driver is. It's just, it's outrageous, folks. Outrageous. All that talent. He's that quick, he can get disqualified at the end and still win. It's outrageous. It is outrageous. Josh, another absolutely phenomenal performance tonight. I mean, that Porsche, I genuinely thought the Audis were really going to give you a run for money this week, but clearly I know nothing. How was that? How was this evening for you? And that second race, that was a dominant win. 8 seconds, 9 seconds ahead of the rest of the fields you were. In your wildest dreams, was that the type of expectation you had here for race number 2 tonight?
Well, coming into tonight, I had no idea what my pace was really like. It turns out it was pretty good. I didn't expect to be this competitive, to be honest. I also thought it would be a bit closer in the second race, but they got caught up battling at the end, which helped a lot. But yeah, no, I really didn't expect to be this quick coming into today.
Yeah, well, you were absolutely almighty quick, and you went for a slightly different pit strategy to most of the drivers. Again, you went for that slightly longer first stint. That's been a bit of a trademark of yours this season. Was that something you had planned out before the race, or was it the battling behind gave you the confidence to just keep driving and run that petrol tank as dry as possible for a slightly longer first stint tonight?
Yeah, well, judging by the pace from the first race, I knew I had a tenth or two in hand, so I figured I could get away with putting some extra fuel so I could go long and then have a light car at the end, or just have more options. And I knew I'd be able to pass as I was running a lower downforce setup than most. So the only cars that were hard to pass were the Nissan and the Ford. They were difficult to pass, but everyone else was passable with the lower downforce, which meant that if I did get undercut, then with the lighter car, I'd be able to hopefully make my way back past.
Well, yeah, it certainly played out well and truly in your favour. To say that you're the champion-elect, a bit of an understatement. That's one hand and another 2 fingers, I think, you've got on the trophy going into the final round, which is going to be Zolder. Obviously, because you're in such a good position, you're just going to take it easy there and not go for the win.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely going to be taking it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's a word
Josh
he
is going to
knows.
like absolutely
He knows the
not in his
definition of
DNA.
that.
Yeah, you'd have to learn that like a new track. But yeah, how are you looking forward to Zolder next week? It's not the easiest track to get around, especially for 3 laps. You do have to make violent contact with a lot of curves through a lot of chicanes. How are you looking forward to that one?
I'm looking forward to it. I think I don't know. I do know the track. I haven't done it much. But I do enjoy the track. I've had some not great results. Well, the one time I've raced it didn't go so well. But I think I'll be able to do. I think I'll be all right through there. I think the car should be decent. I honestly don't know for sure, but I think every time I've said that I'm not sure what the pace is, I've been all right in the end. So I think I'll be able to hopefully bring it home with the win. That would be ideal.
Indeed. Well, yeah, it certainly would for the championship, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Before we'll let you go, just have to say, certainly from a broadcasting and comedy point of view, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you work your magic up at the front of the field. A very, very, very well deserved championship lead going into the final round, and yeah, I would say a very well deserved champion if you are fully crowned, or when you are fully crowned. Let's face it, it's a when rather than an if. At this point in time, but congratulations on another race win tonight, Josh, and absolutely chomping at the bit to see what you can do next time out at Zolder.
Thank
you. Yeah, Josh Struick once again, Isaac, just man and machine, an absolute perfect harmony once again for the Porsche driver, and as we have said, a very, 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 very worthy champion elect. Here at AGT ACC Season 3. And yeah, if he goes on to another dominant race win next week, no one is going to be surprised in the slightest.
No, not at all. But again, anything can happen. It is Zolder, 90 minutes. And the last time we had a 90-minute race to end our season, it was an absolute cracker. And it's shaping up to be a cracker at Zolder as well. That is 3 weeks away, June 19th. That will be coming to our season finale. Obviously, we had to move the season around due to the endurance race getting moved back. So we have a new date for our finale. It is June 19th. So get excited for that final round coming your way in around about 3 weeks' time. Until then, we're going to start building on season 4 as well. We've actually got, if you're in our Discord, we've got a couple polls up at the moment of what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see some multi-class racing, and if we do run multi-class racing, which classes we should run. Currently, people are in favour of the multi-class racing, looking at GT3s and GT4s. So a bit of testing to be done, but that could be shaping up to be a very exciting season 4 as well. But for now, that'll do it for this evening. John, thank you so much for jumping in the booth once again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and good news, we get to do it one more time before the season's over.
Indeed we do. Again, the pleasure absolutely all mine in the commentary box here with yourself, Isaac, and the viewers at home. Absolutely loved this season. My only problem as it ends in a couple of weeks. At least we've got 3 weeks of anticipation to look forward to. But yeah, thank you to everyone that's been in the chat typing away. Nitro's mum, you are an absolute legend. I hope the rescue bird that you've been looking after does make a full recovery. I'm sure it will with your care and attention. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone that's been in the chat, and massive thanks to all the drivers, especially in AGT, right throughout the field. The battle's coming thick and fast, full-blooded racing all the way around Paul Ricard. And yeah, Zolder. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Fun is an understatement. It's going to be a thrilling finale to our season. But until then, we thank you very much for your company. On behalf of myself, John Wright, myself, Isaac Fogarty, John Wright, my co-commentator, everyone at TrackSpotTV, and everyone at AGT TV, we appreciate you tuning in and watching along this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time for our finale. But until then, stay safe, look after yourself. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight.